Welcome back, everyone. I swear one of these days I'm going to be looking at the episode number, session 27 of Call of the Netherdeep. A lot happened last time between
Mm.
sessions and during sessions. Uh, a mission was successfully accomplished for the Cobalt Soul. Uh, Laura Nephitis has been apprehended after a round of questioning. Uh, a blacksmith was visited, or whatever you would call a mithril smith. Um, I don't know what you would call a mithril smith because blacksmith is specifically iron, but oh well, that's neither here nor there. A project has been kicked off, regardless. Um,
Mm.
Conversations started, ended, different conversations started and continue uh, in the aftermath of this mission. Uh, but before we get to things that happened after session, let us address what happened at the end of session, where I realized that I wasn't prepared and didn't want to make something up on the fly and have it be utterly unsatisfying. So, Arno and Lucas, the two of you are rummaging through Ophitus's room, and you have found some items in his bedroom. Let's see. These are interspersed around, like in the wardrobe. There's a trunk. A couple of things were kind of hidden, but not very well because he didn't expect anyone to actually come in and case his room, apparently. Um, in the trunk, there are a number of books. Most of them seem just normal looking academic books. One of them does not have a title, and the pages look old and worn. It's like about as thick as most of the other books, but the fewer pages because the pages are like old and crinkly and don't quite flatten. Um, do you want to look at this book or any of the others?
Absolutely.
100%.
It is in a language that I believe. Where is my list of languages? There is my list of languages. Yes, neither of you are familiar with this language.
Well, that was easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there is that. You have a dark green book written in an unknown language. Within the wardrobe, there are some tattered academic robes, possibly what he traveled in. Um, there is a cloak that Lucas, I believe you had detect magic up, did you not?
I did.
The cloak at a glance to anyone else looks pretty normal. It's got a little bit of a glow to your eyes.
He points
Uh,
out to Arno that it's magical.
let's see. A number of other items. There is a wavy, crisp bladed knife that is clean because you don't want those things to rust, but looks used. Like it's not a clean, brand new blade. It's definitely been used for things. Um, there is a rope that is bundled up for easy transport, but looks a little stained, possibly with blood.
Cute. Okay.
So that's fun. Um, says unfortunate. I have my notepad in front of people's faces, so I can't see everyone's reactions. Let me move that. That's no fun for me. Um, in the trunk, there are a number of just scattered assorted papers. Arno, you got a pretty good investigation result, if I recall. Uh, Looking through, you find a number of pages. It looks like the same words in the same sentences written over and over again. With some of the experience you've had, this looks like he was practicing somebody else's handwriting.
Oh. What does the
Uh,
thing say?
let's see. Well, the practice pages, there's a handful of them. Just like random words, random sentences, just to like practice every letter of the alphabet. There is though also what looks to be a rough draft. Lots of like mark throughs and notations uh, of a letter of introduction, uh, introducing Ophidas himself to the allegiance of all sight, supposedly from one headmaster Zivin Margolin, which
I would like that
let's
spelled.
see.
I'm not gonna
I
take a
don't.
guess at that.
I would like to know if I know who Zivin Margolin is.
Let's
I'd love
see.
to know the same.
Arno, you're from Rexentrum, right?
Correcto mundo.
Okay. You and Lucas both know this name. Which let's see. Let me. It's on the wrong computer, so I'm going to post it in discussion rather than Roll20.
Oh, Lucas knows this name.
Headmaster Margolin. He is the headmaster of the Soltris Academy in Rexentrum, and he is also a member of the Cerberus Assembly. Oh, it helps if I hit send when I type messages.
Okay, I might have gotten that if I tried hard enough. I can admit that, but I'm happy that you quoted it.
Yes. There is also what appears to be an actual letter written by the headmaster that has nothing to do with Ophidas. It seems to be aiming to settle a dispute between two other individuals. You see named on here Martinet Ludinus Daleth and Lord Athesius Uludon, who are both also members of the Cerberus Assembly, and whose names
Yeah.
I will also copy and paste.
More copy and paste. Love it. Thanks. What's with all these people and syllables?
What was the argument, the dispute between the two of them? Does the letter say?
It seems it goes into a little bit, but it seems to have nothing to do with what Ophidas was here about. It seems like he just took some random thing that was written by the headmaster so that he could use it to practice his handwriting. So I will say, since you're a local to Rexentrum, you do know that those names, one of them has to do with like domestic affairs, and one of them is like foreign affairs. So some kind of disagreement between those two aspects of their jobs. They're also, let's see, I think almost the last thing. There is also a seal and some sealing wax that is either for the Cerberus Assembly or perhaps specifically the headmaster himself.
Arno's gonna pocket that.
Arno's like, now I have handwriting of the headmaster and his seal.
And a seal.
Matches nicely with the letter of introduction from the dynasty. Let's see. Oh, last thing. There is kind of tucked into the wardrobe, like along with the knife and the bloody rope. Lucas does also catch your eye that there is a wand in there that has a bit of a glow to it.
Oh, I unmuted just as I sneezed. He points that out to Arno as well.
Arno cannot identify. I'm 90% sure Arno cannot identify, so he will just hold on to that.
Let's see. Let me redact a couple of things, and I will copy paste that list.
Redact a couple of things.
I mean, you don't
What things?
know what some of these are.
Oh, okay.
You don't have enough clearance to know.
Let's see. Yes. Okay. So that is what you find. That was
What?
very,
What's
very
the second thing?
Chris knife. The kind of knife that has the wavy blade.
Oh, I wrote crisp
Oh.
with a P. That makes more sense.
Yeah, the kind of blade that looks like a snake would be using it.
Okay. All right. Well, that's
But
fine.
yes, these are the items that were glossed over in your post-session RP.
That's certainly a gloss over.
Mm.
Well, that's interesting. Great that they're not talking right now, apparently.
Well, Arno and Ix will get to know what these things are.
Excuse me. I believe Arno promised to share information on that.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, you guys
they're in a
Didn't give
carriage
us
right now, so
Didn't give him
at
a
this
time
point,
frame.
you guys are still talking for like another minute or two.
For like another minute or two.
And then your
Fair enough.
conversation happens.
That's fair. That's fair. We've found all of the things and then had another conversation.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
What do you suppose the rope was used for?
Torture.
Really?
Didn't he say it was bloody? I'm not going crazy. He said it was bloody.
No, he said it was
didn't he?
bloody, but like, how?
And the guy was like,
Seems a
I've
little-
silenced people before. So I'm thinking torture.
That seems a little crude.
Isn't that Zahir's whole thing?
Oh, that's
Right?
true. No, that's true.
Mm-hmm. Don't do that to me, Stars. I will roll a religion check and probably get stupidly high. For no
And it will
reason.
be stupidly high.
Just,
Oh man.
I would say just take expertise in religion, but you don't need it.
No. Oh,
He's
I
like,
don't
"Nah,
think
I
you
won't."
guys knew. There is literally one point where I had asked Stars a question about, I think, Tiamat. And Stars is like, I mean, you can roll if you want to, but it's like super high. And I'm like, roll just in case. And I got a nat 20. Like,
And no, I think I said something. Go ahead and roll your stupidly high religion check because I expected you to get a high number.
Yeah.
Not that the DC was high.
Yep.
Yep.
Pretty great. Same.
Okay, yep. That tracks.
How did you carry all these things out?
Yeah. How did you carry all these things out?
Are you carrying them all in a bag?
Wrap them
You
up
wanna,
in
like,
the cloak.
Okay. And then just
Wrap them up
carry
in a
the
cloak
cloak
and
bundle out, or put it in a bag?
yeah, and he was invisible, so no one knew.
Oh, that's true. You were invisible this whole time. You just
Yeah,
appear in front of
not
Ix with
suspicious.
a bundle that contains
Wait,
bloody clothing.
I think you said you became
Yep.
uninvisible while you two were talking.
You did come. Yeah, he became uninvisible, but then he went invisible again to leave the room.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then he became visible again when he nearly tumbled into Egg.
Yeah.
So,
He dropped
Is
him
that
down.
all of your
if you-
invisibility uses for the day?
No.
Nikki gets a bonus.
Now I have 5 charges, and I can use them towards a bunch of different things, including invisibility.
Got it. I had the number 3 in my head for some reason. 5 makes more sense.
No,
Yeah,
it
use
used to be
three.
3 before it was awakened.
Oh, okay. That's what it is then.
Mm-hmm.
And now it does new things as well that use the same charges.
Yes.
Yep, exactly.
Like helping people on their dex save when an earthquake happens underground and they don't dodge the rock very fast.
Correct the mundo. Well, I don't even remember who I gave that to, but you're welcome.
I feel like it was not Ix because I think Ix ended up under a rock.
Was it Kip? No, it wasn't
It was
Kibble, because
Kibble.
Kibble also ended up under. No,
Well-
because Kibble also
Well,
ended
you
up
still
under
used
a
it,
rock.
but she still rolled crap.
Oh shit, you're right.
She has moves, man. She can't dodge rocks like that.
Moves. Fun memories, fun memories. That plan could have gone so differently. But the players
Somehow
said
less
no.
tense than what they're dealing with right now.
Specifically Ben, and then followed up by Thorn, said nah.
So I feel like with all the magic cloaks you give us, you're determined to put all of us in a magic cloak.
One for each of us. One of every color. It's like Power Rangers.
Yes.
There's just a lot of fun cloaks in this game.
I'm not complaining.
Many cloaks to be had. Ah. So yes, two more magic things to be identified at some point. I still
And a
can't
book
believe
that someone hopefully should read.
And a book
Still-
that none of us can read, but other people might be able to.
Mm-hmm.
still cannot believe that there are items that you have had for so long and you don't even know they're magic.
What?
More items?
What items?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's one of our
You don't
cloaks.
know?
I'm pretty sure it's Ix's necklace to some degree. And there was one other thing, but I can't. It's in the back of my head somewhere.
All right, we're just
I promise you it's not. Nobody has even given it a second thought since it was picked up.
Oh,
Ah.
shit. Never mind.
It's the wine.
Magic wine.
Lucas needs to do
Magic
detect
wine!
magic at all times. I don't care if it's metagaming.
No, well, if he did detect magic, I feel like he would have seen it because he would have seen it on our person.
Well,
Because he's done detect
not
magic.
necessarily.
Oh, if maybe
No,
he didn't do it after, like, we got the item and then he never did it again.
I've only done detect magic twice, and they have been last session and like basically actually once this session. Like
Oh, it was
You
detect magic. I
used
thought
it-
you had like a sense.
You used it once in Bazozan, I think.
did I?
I don't remember the circumstances.
Okay, I
but
believe
I
you.
remember you being like, oh, I have detect magic. Look at that.
I believe you. I've used it twice, and it's quite possible for how long Stars has been gloating that it was longer ago
Yeah.
than that.
Because when you cast detect magic, you can tell if there is something magical within 30 feet, but
Yeah.
you only see like an aura around the magic item if it is in your line of sight, not blocked by something.
Yeah. And also we're all carrying magic items at this point,
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
it
So
might have just
there's just
blended
always
in.
magic items around.
Yeah, makes sense that all of us have something magical because we all have something magical. You know.
Oh,
Friendship.
like friendship? I got you.
That was dumb.
That is quite fun. That is quite fun.
Thinking back, remembering the overthinking comic.
Yeah.
It's like, I hope friendship wasn't the reward. I can honestly say I hate all of you.
And Andy, not that it is gonna matter, I don't think, but if for the heck of it you want to roll an insight check real quick.
Oh shit. Okay. Hold on. I will always
She-
roll an inside check. Where did I put my dice?
Just to potentially match what Stars said out loud versus what the characters themselves know. That's all.
16.
Cool. The reason I said it doesn't matter is because I rolled a nat 1. So, just
Shit.
when Stars said that Arno and Lucas both know the name, I rolled a nat 1 for that moment on whether or not Arno might have noticed, like, recognition.
Oh.
Nat 1. So.
You know, this argument makes even more sense. Okay.
Oh my God. I'm packing shit.
It feels like natural progression now.
Yeah.
Fill in some blanks.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks.
Interesting. So
Which
yeah,
one are you messaging him?
no, I was checking something. The person who picked up the unknown magic item I keep talking about didn't add it to their inventory. That's not helping you guys remember it.
Oh.
It wasn't me, was it? Because I swear I put stuff
Was
in
it-
my bag.
I can't tell nobody
Well-
nothing.
I hate to break it
Okay.
to you, Stars, but if it's in nobody's inventory, clearly none of us remember it. So you will take this secret to your grave.
I will do so.
Wait,
You know I keep secrets.
an
You all know I
item
keep
that we
secrets.
picked up and have in one of our inventories, but not really?
Apparently
guess we should
somebody
have.
picked it up but didn't
It's
write
in,
it down.
it's in somebody's bag, but not on somebody's character sheet, which is a problem. But I know it's there. So if
Well-
it ever comes up, it'll get mentioned.
I can't wait to go through every note that I have.
Oh, I got
session
it,
notes.
guys. It's my climber's kit. No, I still have that in my inventory. I did. I just
you
went to my
got for
inventory.
free.
I'm like, yeah, I know, right? I'm like, okay, I have a crowbar, I have daggers, I have a bag of sand. I'm sitting here just going through shit like, what could it be? And then he's like, it's not
Is
in
it-
your inventory. And I'm like,
Okay, so is it? Do we have our carpet of flying somewhere? Where is that?
oh shit.
Also, what
We
Who
haven't
has
talked
the
about
carpet
that in a
flying?
while.
Yeah, you used it and then it was never brought up again.
No, we used it and then Ix identified it. She woke
And
up
then
the
it
next
was never
day.
brought up again.
Yeah, after that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we've been in a city. Why would we bring it up again?
Yeah.
So
But it's, I mean,
Stars-
I feel like that'd be in Ben's inventory or something. I don't know. Whose
I
inventory
mean-
would that be in?
I think I kind of assumed it was Ben's.
Who is
He
carrying
died
a
for
rolled up
it.
carpet?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what Stars? Who was carrying what?
Who is carrying a rolled up carpet?
Oh, yeah.
Probably Ben.
It shrinks.
So also,
with
guys, I
speed.
apologize in advance because I am really bad about adding stuff to my inventory. So if it's not that carpet, it might be me and sucks to suck because I will not remember.
It's all right. You know, if I get super bored, I'll go through all my old session notes and see what people should have, and we can all just check our inventories for fun. And by process of elimination, we'll figure it out.
If you get
Or-
bored enough or gung ho enough.
Yeah,
So I guess
fixated
from-
enough or just bored enough. Yep. One of the
That
Can I-
list going
Yep.
there, did somebody take the cracked drift globe too? Of course, that's not likely the item Stars is talking about because everybody knows what
You
those
brought
do.
it up
but-
the first time after we were at the
Well, did somebody want
caravan
it?
stop.
If it's
caravan
not
stop.
already in somebody's inventory?
It's not in mine.
I thought we said we might sell it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we said we might sell it after Ix identified it.
Yeah, because nobody wanted it.
I mean, you never know. Portable light might be. I'll put that in Ben's inventory too. He'll just
I-
carry. He's just
I
gonna
had to
walk
bully
around like
Heather
this.
I had
Can
to
I have
bully
a-
Heather into identifying. She's like, it's broken. It's not going to be anything.
Why are you
Well, do
making
it
me
all.
do this? Can I have a hint of when we picked it up?
Long time ago,
I would.
I said,
in a galaxy far, far away.
So it wasn't even in this campaign? I can't remember pre-campaign.
all right, guys, We're not gonna remember it for now, but we'll spend the next 2 weeks trying to figure it out because we won't have session next week. So
I will
great.
say, if it's something like important and I don't know, we don't have reason to have forgotten about it in character, I'd prefer we were just told what it was we were forgetting.
You don't get told shit. But let's continue.
Okay, well then I guess we interrupted this for no reason. So
Yes, we did.
It was a good talk. Now let's get back to not talking to each other.
Yes, we had to enjoy that while we could.
It hurts so good.
But yes, the items are found. A conversation was had between Lucas and Arno while they were in the apartment. They left, met up with the others. I believe current situation for the viewers at home. Ben slipped away to go back to the Cobalt Soul to report the job completed. While everybody else is in the carriage currently, two inside, two outside.
Yep. And a blue
Okay.
flying snake.
And a blue flying snake. Oh yes, Ao apparently sent a flying snake that spoke in her voice for up to 25 words, letting the party know that her group is now staying at the Harried Mongoose in the River District north of the palace. And comments were made about the blue girl sending a blue snake to talk to the blue boy.
What time of day is it?
It is getting close to evening. It's a little before supper time.
Towards sundown. Like how close to sundown?
We're getting later in the year, so the sun is low in the sky.
Okay. Well,
So maybe
I can
another
drop people
hour
off wherever,
ago.
but then I need to go drop the carriage off. So
Oh yeah, we're just going to the Cobalt Soul Temple.
all right. So Lucas would drop everyone off there and then mention to whoever, probably Thorn at least, that he's got to go drop the carriage off.
Okay. All right. So conversations are had on the road about feelings and relationships and all that kind of such topics as Heather makes a face at the DM.
Why you gotta say it like that? Why you gotta say it like that? Like you're just so like you're just like, oh, I can't believe I have to say these words coming out of my mouth. Like that's how you said it.
Yeah.
Why you do this? Why you do this to me?
Are you questioning me?
No, I just said why would you? Oh wait, no, that's a question. Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
Mm.
Moving along though. So everybody on their way back to the guided district will catch up to Ben in short order. Ben, you reported to Expositor Iwozalare. Understandably misunderstood him when he asked you what you had learned.
That wasn't just Ben, to be clear. That's actually what I genuinely thought you were asking. So I liked how that turned out.
When I typed it and had not yet hit send, I'm like, that could mean a couple of things, but that's fine. Click. So Ben learned a moral from the lesson, but really Iwo just wanted to know what you all had learned from
Just wanted
Aquinas
hot
Aquitas.
goss. So.
Wanted that tea spilt. But yeah, so you made your report, and I believe you had followed up asking about further assistance with guided meditation, because you had delved into some of the biz that had happened to you in the Betrayer's Rise, but you felt like there was still something left that you had not quite grasped or reached or touched upon adequately. You mentioned that Question had helped you before, but Iwo figures that probably neither he nor they would be able to guide you any further than they already have. So he suggested, let me remember this name that I picked out. He suggested that you speak with Archivist Senka, which I couldn't find it, but I remembered what the name was, who apparently spends far too much time by himself, usually prefers it that way, but apparently may be interested in your particular situation, which has not been clarified to you what that might mean yet. Well, let us pick up there, I suppose. That was a lot of preamble to get to that point, but a lot happened between sessions. But yes, Iwo leads you to, he says, the entrance to the lower level. You've been to the upper level and the ground level, but he takes you through a couple hallways. There is a trap door that leads down a staircase. Looks like you're going into a cellar, basically. But as you get down there, you realize that the shelves of books and records continue down here. But it looks like there's less foot traffic down this way. There's not just like the same kind of crowds of just anyone coming in and perusing the materials here. You mostly see a small number of, you presume, Cobalt Soul librarians and archivists here. And what little you do know about Cobalt Soul hierarchy, librarian is a common way to start out with the Cobalt Soul, just tending the books for a number of months before you're deemed responsible enough to take on other things. Fortunately, you got to skip that part. I don't know how Ben would have done as a librarian for 6 months before he got to do adventure stuff. But Iwo leads you deeper and deeper into the archives below ground. It's getting pretty dark. There are some torches here with blue flames as you get further in. They don't seem to give off heat, only light.
I'm not proficient in Arcana, but would that be safely assumed to be I forget what it's called, the everlasting flame spell, whatever it is.
That seems about as much as what Ben would know about that, yes.
Sounds good.
That sounds accurate and incorrect.
I can't remember the name of the spell ever, so.
Ever burning torch, maybe?
Maybe, something.
But yes, eventually you do come to a very quiet portion of the archive. The only sounds you hear are your own footsteps echoing and the occasional turn of a page some distance ahead, which is, it's quiet enough that you can hear pages being turned.
Ben will try to walk as quietly as he can without losing pace.
Make a stealth check. for politeness.
23.
23. Oh, you're being pretty polite with those footsteps, I would say. Eventually, you round a corner, and at a table, hunched over a very large book. This is probably one of the thickest books you've ever seen. There is an elven-looking figure. It's a little hard to make out, and there is some light in here. His skin looks a little bit ashen, maybe like kind of grayish. It doesn't look like a healthy color, but also perhaps doesn't look like what you might consider a natural skin tone for most elves. But he very pointedly ignores both of you as you approach, until Iwo makes his way right up in front of him and Archivist, how are you today? I was doing fantastic, thank you. We have an acolyte here that I wish you to meet.
Ben just immediately bows.
He doesn't seem to be looking at you and may or may not have seen your bow.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, and why would I be interested in this acolyte? still not looking at you. Like, Ben, if you would care to explain your predicament to Archivist Senka.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
I can't remember the last time I had to have two NPCs talking to each other. Always feels awkward.
So I'm trying to think of how best to do this, or if I just want to cop out and say Ben tells it really fast. But
Both are options.
because I'm trying to think, can I actually pull that off if I start there? I was with my friends where we were exploring in Pesosand because we had got involved with this prophecy, and you see what happened is we went into this really crazy demon place, and we went all the way to the bottom, and then I fell and I died while I was down there, and it was okay because my friend brought me back to life even though I was dead. And the problem is, while I was down there's this crazy mask lady, and I'm actually running out of speed here. So Ben is going to continue at that pace to tell the entire story.
Well, that's okay, because at that point, when you mention the mask, Ben realizes that Archivist Senka is no longer paying attention to his book.
I'm actually going to rule it as Ben does not realize this, because in my mind, Ben is still bowing and probably not looking at the guy. So it's nice that I have his attention, but Ben is being Ben. So,
Fair enough.
and he would then lead into we'd already meditated on it. There was a lot that happened, and I didn't want to hurt my friends again. And the problem is, there was something else. I don't know if feeling it is the right word, but it's still there. Like a dark thing. And I feel like I can look at it, but if I look at it too closely, it's going to consume everything. But it doesn't feel like it's just sitting inside of me. It's not inside of me, it's pulling on me, and I don't know what it is. And Ben would actually slow down as he's saying it, like I did, and continue to hold his bow.
Gotcha. There is silence for a moment. You feel after a little bit of this, you kind of feel Iwo nudge you a little in the side to get your attention.
He'll look up.
You look up, and now you do see Archivist Senka just leaning very close, staring at you intently. He seems to be considering you very closely, and finally says, "You were visited by the Dusk Maven, weren't you?"
That's what Question said. Or did I don't remember. Was it Question who said that, or did Ben just
I
know
think it
that?
was Question.
Okay. Yeah, that's what Question said.
Okay. Because you, I think Question explained that you might know her as the Raven Queen, but
That's how I remember it, so I just wanted to make sure.
Marquette, she is known as the Dusk Maven. And even though she is not depicted here with the porcelain mask, that icon is still recognized as the foreigner interpretation of the Dusk Maven, whom they depict with like a vulture's head made of gold, if I recall. So you were visited, and then you came back. That is, isn't it?
Some of that cut out a little bit. You said that is something.
That is interesting, isn't it? I am doing a whispery voice. I need to enunciate and project a little bit while still making it wispy.
No, you don't have to explain your voice to me. It's okay. No.
I don't talk to very many people, you see. I prefer it that way. But no, I very much would like to speak to you about this.
Ben will visibly sigh with relief. I have time now, if you have time.
I think we should act upon that then. Come with me. And he stands very suddenly, turns, and just expects you to follow.
Ben snaps to attention and follows.
All right. Ewo leaves you to this. He calls after, you can find your way out, right?
I'm good. Probably.
All right. Take care then, and good luck. He goes back, presumably, to whatever business he was taking care of before came to report. But yes, Archivist Senka takes you somewhere a little. Well, he doesn't really need to take you somewhere more secluded because you're already pretty secluded here. He just wanted to get away from, like, there were other people around and that was not going to do. So he goes deeper even into the archive, finds another table for the two of you to sit at across from each other.
Ben's gonna take Uguay out of his pocket and be like, when I said I wanted to investigate the shadows, this isn't what I meant. It's really dark in here, buddy. He'll just put him back.
But there is no better place to learn about the shadows, is there? So, in the interest of getting back to the group, we'll just say Archivist Senka speaks with you for a time. He speaks of the Dusk Maven and another plane known as the Shadowfell that she presides over. You get the impression he is very familiar with this place. Almost sounds like firsthand at times. But he talks with you, delves into what happened, what you feel like you experienced. Kind of gets familiar with your situation in more detail. And that can carry on for as long as you need it to. But the rest of the party, after some time on the road, you do make it back to the guided district. Lucas presumably drops the rest of you off at the Temple of the Mentor. And I believe actually it was not far from there that you acquired the carriage. And you do see, you don't have to wait very long before you see the same guy that had been driving it originally. And he looks he's looking around, looking very concerned at first. But when he sees you with the carriage and everything appears to be intact at a quick inspection, he seems very relieved, maybe a little surprised.
See? Told you. Did you have a good day off?
Well, I tried really hard not to think about what was happening to this carriage. Otherwise, it was fine, yes.
Do you want to know what happened to this carriage?
Do I want to know what happened to this carriage?
I don't know. Do you want to know what happened to this carriage?
The way you're saying it, I don't know if I want to know what happened in this carriage.
All right, then I won't tell you what happened in this carriage. But just know that you did an excellent service today.
Good to know. I hope it never happens again. Thank you for bringing it back in one piece.
This guy's gonna look in his carriage later and see blood stains inside.
I mean, realistically.
Like, no joke. There's definitely blood in there. There is a lot of blood.
I mean, do any of you have prestidigitation?
Nope.
Just leave a note to talk to the hand. Not like talk to the hand, but the hand. And they can explain everything. Very important investigation. We're good.
Yeah, no, he let's see. Yeah, no, he
Does
does
he
not check
notice?
inside. He does not check inside before departing. So that'll be a surprise for him later.
Lucas is gone.
Let's see. Add one rival to Lucas's list.
The funniest part too is Lucas hadn't been inside the carriage
Right?
either, so
And
he
I was
has no
responsible for
idea.
It was my name on the insurance, my name on the paperwork.
I don't think you ever gave your name, thank goodness.
I didn't give my name, and he didn't give his. Actually, no, he did, and it was just you glossed over it. I didn't give mine though.
He gave it after the fashion of Adel Kristen.
Yeah.
His name is now Adel.
All I gotta do now is put my hair back to red, and he'll never see me again. It's gonna be great.
That one I'm actually going to add to the list.
That he's actually a rival.
No, that his name is Adel.
How?
And save.
I want him to be our cabbage guy. In the last year, but like every city we go to from here on out, like he just moves from town to town because he's trying to expand his business of these carts and being a taxi service. And every time he runs into one of us, and we do something to his freaking carriage every time.
So
And he has no clue.
So instead of my
carriage.
cabbages, yeah.
Oh dear. I can't believe you've done this. All right. But yes, the rest of you, shortly after joined again by Lucas, do make it back to the Temple of the Mentor. You don't immediately see Ben anywhere.
Ix would immediately look for Iwo or Question to see if either of them had seen Ben, since they are most likely the two top people he would go to.
Okay. Yes, you do. You don't find Question. You do find somebody directs you to Iwo, and he doesn't explain the entire situation, but he does tell you that Ben is here speaking to one of the archivists. He's not sure how long they'll take. He can have somebody go fetch Ben for you if you would like.
No, if he's not ready yet. We can wait, or I can at least. Did he fill you in on everything with Lauren, the cultist?
Yes, plus a little extra about what he learned today. He says with a half smile.
What did he learn today?
Let's see. What did you learn again, Ben?
Ambition.
Yes. Ambition gets you in trouble. Stuff like that.
Have no ambition.
Severe ambition, not just ambition,
No.
it's severe.
Don't be blinded by your own ambition so that you are incapable of seeing the consequences of your actions.
That is surprisingly... You know what? That isn't surprising. Ben's pretty smart. That is not what I got out of this, but cool, I guess.
Also,
you have any-
don't let people trick you into believing that you're their friends and then stab them a lot.
He said those words specifically?
Or get stabbed a lot. More or less.
Best not to remember those words.
That's going to be difficult, but I will pretend.
It's a good lesson to learn.
Ixel kind of like side-eye Thorn, like, shut up. Like, don't just say that in front of fucking people. Anyway, so
Lucas says nothing.
he just says, he's like, mm.
Arno would be like, wait, you stabbed Lauren? What is he like?
Ixel like whirl around and stare at him and go, shh, later. And then she'll turn back around like, we don't need to talk about straight up almost murder. God damn. In a freaking temple. Oh my god. After Iwo explains Ben and his lessons and his wisdom sharing, we have a little chuckle about that. Is there any update on going into the restricted library by chance? It's been 3 hours.
No word yet, but I will make mention of your aid in the mission today and see if that moves things a little quicker for you.
Did you have any interest in the staff he had? And she'll kind of just twist it in her wrist a little bit to kind of draw attention to it.
He looks at it curiously. Do you know it? Did you learn anything about it?
Other than he wanted to use it in a ritual. He had no idea what that ritual would be, but he also didn't have much of any information. He was fledgling for what he was looking for, completely in over his head.
Perhaps we should hang on to that here just so it doesn't fall into hands like his again.
Ix will kind of pull it closer to herself. Not what I offered. If you want to take a look at it,
I'm
absolutely.
not asking you to hand it over. If that is not what I'm implying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Sorry.
There would be a bounty for finding something like distractions.
Bounty.
I'm sorry. The child is gone. So yeah.
Yes, he does mention there would be a bounty for it if you wished to hand it over to Bobo's soul.
How much is that bounty?
I can let's see. No, he has enough of that. How does 250 gold sound?
Holy shit. Ixel literally. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because that was not what I expected. I'm sorry, what did you say, Bast?
I was going to have Thorn just be like, that's something we'll have to discuss as a group, I think.
Something what?
Something we'll have to discuss as a group.
Ix will kind of tilt her head to Thorn and, yes, I think we'll talk it over. I appreciate the information.
If the amount is too small, I can see what I can do as well.
At that point, Ix will look at Thorn like, do you want to do this now?
I think he would have a very, like, almost imperceptibly small shake of his head towards her. Like, no, let's not haggle right now.
It's like, please don't.
Ix is like, money's good. Thorn's like, we're not giving up this staff.
He made that known, let's be fair. Ix will continue to keep the staff closer to her. Thank you, Iwo. We'll let you know.
Right, well, do take care of it then if you are hanging on to it.
I will.
Is there anything else I can assist you with while you are waiting on Ben, or will he be perusing the library or killing time as it were otherwise?
I mean, I'll hang out here. I don't know what you guys want to do. I definitely can still do things at the library if need be.
Yeah, I can wait.
So, Ben, while you are downstairs talking with the archivist, what is more important to you right now? Getting this figured out or food?
Ooh, I gotta
Because
mute
it is
myself.
because depending on how invested you are in the moment, your tummy might be a little rumbly.
My constitution check is a 9, so I'm probably pretty hungry.
I must say that echoes a little bit. Senka is halfway through a sentence with his mouth still open as just echoes in the chamber that you are in. Perhaps we should continue on another session.
Yeah, yes, sir. Ben will bow and I guess I'll stop by again, hopefully tomorrow.
Well, you, for better or worse, know where to find me now. I am usually down here unless they make me go get food, which perhaps I should go do that as well.
I'll tell you what, I want to kind of take a little bit more of this place in. Why don't you go first and lead the way?
Does Ben have shenanigans in mind, or does he actually just want to become more familiar?
No, that's just Ben's reaction to the comment of, do you know your way out?
Ah, gotcha.
He's gonna get out.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if you guys even had lunch. You had a late breakfast.
No, we did not. Or at least we did not do it on air.
Ben never did go back to investigate that smell that he smelled.
We were going to
That's
pick up
true.
Ix and then go back, and then Ben went straight to the library.
Which nobody actually knew, but it seemed a sensible place to check.
How far away, how long would it take us to walk to the smell?
You are just about on the opposite side of the city.
I remember that. Damn it, we don't have the carriage anymore.
You could probably rent a carriage. You just don't have my carriage anymore.
I mean, you personally are about as fast as that carriage, if not more so, but gonna leave everybody behind to go get your food.
So here's how I want to do this.
Okay, not the complete opposite side, but basically. The palace is in between where you are and where you smell the smell.
Does Ben manage to make it out of the dankness of the deep library safely?
I would say your background feature applies enough to help you here.
Okay. So Ben gets back upstairs. He comes up out of the trap door, and then he'll go out. Would he immediately see any of his friends?
Would he immediately see any of his friends?
Or would they all be off reading books in dark corners?
Lucas is not off reading books in dark corners. Lucas is waiting, very bored, outside.
Neither is Thorn. Thorn is also probably waiting, looking bored.
But is either of them having somebody read a book to them?
No, Lucas is not hanging out in the library.
Hicks would probably be in the main lobby, like one of the many public chairs just around the corridor, just so that way she could be seen and she could see when Ben would arrive.
Yeah.
She would be reading.
So you would see X. You might see Arno. What's Arno up to?
Yeah, Arno's probably just sitting.
So Ben would immediately come up, see whoever's there. Sounds like Ix would be first. And be like, oh, hi, Ix. And he won't explain himself or anything. He'll just grab her hand and take her and be like, all right, let's go. Let's find everybody else. And then he'll walk around until he finds the next person, grab their hand, no explanation whatsoever. And he's going to do this until he collects everybody. And he's like, Lucas, do we still have the cart?
No.
Okay, cool. And then he's going to take everybody out to the street. And how do we get a cart? Do we just like hail it? Do we just look around? Let's get a cart.
Ben's like, how do we get a cart? Do we just do this? And he does this, and a cart comes up.
Pretty much.
Does that
pretty much.
Now,
work,
my
Stars?
question is, if Ben is around grabbing everyone's hand, does everyone just like grab each other's hand, just like, oh well, Ben is doing it, so are we all? Is this what we're doing now?
No.
No.
She would let Ben take her hand, and she would be drug a little bit. But once outside and he lets go, she'll kind of like, even though he lets go, she'll still like jerk her hand back like she ripped it out of his hand.
Ben giving me vibes like Katamari Damacy or something, like rolling around picking up all of his friends.
Yeah, there we go.
So he
Unfortunately,
hails a carriage.
I don't actually know any music, so I can't hum any music from that game. But yeah, so Ben, you're like, is this all you have to do? And a carriage approaches,
Okay.
asking if you need a ride and where.
Yes, and he'll point to everybody, and he's going to do his best to describe the place. I don't actually have the map. I'm on the Streets of the Sigil District map, so I can't actually try to use anything there. But he'll start saying it's this intersection at this end of town, just before you get up to, I forget what the upper part is, the ridge.
The ridge.
But then we have to go a little bit to the southwest, and there was something that smelled really good there. Do you know anything that smells really good over there?
That's a big question.
All right, cool. Start driving, and Ben will pay for the ride.
Alrighty. Well, it's 2 silver per person, so 1 gold in total for all 5 of you that are kind of crammed in there a little bit.
Once in the carriage. Oh, I'm sorry.
Um,
were you gonna
unless-
say something else?
Unless one of you is, I guess, apparently it's been decided that the driver's seat can fit 2. So
We just made that up. Yep.
Ben will sit in the front with the driver
so you can
to lead
Ben
to the
sits in
smell.
front, and he's very excited. And inside is just the most awkward carriage ride in existence.
Oh yeah. Arno and
So-
Ix sitting on one side, Lucas and Thorn on the other.
And
No
none
one
of us are
making
looking
eye
at each
contact.
other. We're all
No.
just looking out
Arno
windows.
would 100% pull out that book and like show it to Ix, like, do you know how to read this? Like, in the kind of like, oh, here's a way to divert our attention. Look at this book. Pretend you know what it says.
Ix will ponder the book. Does she know the language, Stars?
Looking at it, it might look a little familiar, but it's not one that you know enough to read.
Oh, is it Draconic?
It is not.
Oh.
Make a history check for me if you would.
I mean, I do have an option. History 1. Okay. +1. Here we go, guys. 16.
will help you. Oh, nice.
Yes, you have seen this script in The Betrayer's Rise.
Oh shit. From the glyphs that were on the walls,
Let's see.
or the door. It was on a pedestal, wasn't it?
It was the one where you had to sacrifice something of personal value.
The
Ooh.
one Thorn read? Go ahead, tell him, talk to him.
Wow, man, Jesus. He's like, go. What you gonna do? I just love the energy you brought to that. Like, tell him. Go on. Do it, you fucking coward. Like, I could hear it. Anyway.
Feelings and relationships.
Shut up, stars. We already have your opinion through your tone. Ix will look down at the script, identify to some degree that Thorn had read this, or at least part of the script, in The Betrayer's Rise. So kind of look at Arno a second. I can't read this. But Thorn might. And she will, for the first time in, what, 2 hours, will actually look at Thorn with a question without asking the question.
An implied question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can take a look. He'll hold out his hand to take the book.
I really want Arno to like slap him beside the face with the book, but I won't do it.
Here's the thing though. Ix will kind of like lean away and let Arno give the book to Thorn. Like, she won't give him the book. She'll give it to Arno.
It's like, would you give this to the person sitting across from you, please?
Super petty. It's dumb. It's so dumb. But that's what she's
Arno,
gonna do.
would
And
you
it's
tell Thorn?
yeah. Would you tell Thorn that I'm not talking to him right now? like, and she doesn't do it in like a quick manner either. It's just kind of like a, okay, thanks, but I'm still keeping a distance. It's not meant to be a hand slap or a face slap, rather. But it
could
still
be
petty. It's still kind of petty. I'm not gonna lie, like, she's still mad, and this is how she's gonna do it, is by being a fucking brat. So, damn it, fuck, stop. I'm almost getting to the swears, I promise. So yeah, she'll hand it over to Arno.
Almost.
To let him kind of take the rest of the weight so he can give it to Thorn. Is Thorn sitting across from Ix?
Probably not.
Okay.
I would presume the pairs are like diagonal from each other.
Yeah.
That's smart. Okay, so yeah, so in that regard, maybe it looks like it's
That's
for
my
ease,
assumption.
despite the fact that she could have easily given it to him. So, yeah.
Yep.
That's what happens.
Does Arno pass the book along?
Yeah.
Does he drop it really hard in Thorn's lap?
He's gonna just lifts. First he shuts the page, doesn't even let him look at the page, and then like hands on the book and just like drops it.
You never know. Arno's desire for information might, supersede pettiness at the moment. You never know.
So, glancing through this book, what does it seem to be about?
Stuff that maybe shouldn't be let out into the world. This definitely has to do with Zahir. You get the impression from conversations and from like a couple of like lightly made notes in there that he was kind of semi trying to translate it. And almost you almost get the sense that maybe he knew a little bit of Abyssal, but not enough to just read it. Like he knew enough to like he could see like a word, go look up what the word was, memorize it, not write it down in Common Ware. And he was working his way through this book, trying to discern perhaps what some of the rituals for Zahir might have been. Because that's what this book is.
I think, so Thorn would have had that obnoxiously easygoing demeanor when he initially responded to Ix and took the book. That kind that definitely says that he's just sweeping what happened under the rug. Like, but as he reads some of this and flips through a few pages, I think that demeanor is going to like kind of fall a bit as his brow furrows. And there's probably like a slight look of concern that he tries to cover up, but he is gonna go, I might have to actually spend some time with this to really understand it. But this is a big deal. what you found. Honestly,
Well, what is it?
like it's a handy dandy how-to guide for Zahir, it looks like, from the gist of it. I
Would
don't
you like a couple of snippets?
um
Yeah.
well, first he is going to just say, like, to the group, like, from what I can tell, he probably didn't know how to read it, which is good, because if he had, and that staff does do what it's meant to do, then the combination of these two things could have been very dangerous. And yes, I would like a snippet or two.
There is one part of it speaks on, kind of expands on some of the basics you already know, but it explains things like, blood spilt in the name of Zahir, particularly if suffering was caused and all that stuff, appears to help sustain him, like in his other planar prison wherever he is, um, where he cannot do these things himself, um, but things done in his name still provide something for him. Uh, there is also a little bit. Give me Thorn specifically either a I don't know. This could be a number of things. The history, nature, or arcana.
Oh, which one of those has the best bonus? Because I got a nat 20.
All.
Ooh.
What were the options? Arcana, history, or nature?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad I got a nat 20 because all of those have a 0 bonus.
But hey, that's 20.
I will just kind of then mash up bits of the answers you would have gotten with just one of those since nat 20. Um, I would say from your travels and like time you may have spent talking to people from like coastal areas that have been out at sea and like seen like crazy shit on some of the isolated islands out there. You are at least passingly aware, uh, with a race of creature called the Yuan Ti, or the Snake People. With a natural 20, you know that they prefer to call themselves in their own language the favored ones, specifically because they see themselves as the favored of Zahir. They are some of his biggest worshippers, off of the main continents and stuff. There are there seems to be like at least one ritual in here, a multi-step process to kind of like another humanoid could become a little bit more like a Yuan Ti, like a little more like physically snake-like in some ways, which would explain uh, why your poison didn't seem to do anything to him. He may have made some progress on that one.
Interesting.
Dude was trying to be a mutant.
Anno, do you mind if I take a day or two to study this?
Study it. You should burn it.
I probably, but I want to make sure there isn't anything that, I don't know. I think he might have used at least one of these rituals, and I just want to make sure that there aren't signs of any more serious rituals being used.
Will you tell me everything you find?
Yeah, I can do that.
Insight check.
Go for it.
trust any
23.
party.
I would say that he seems like he's being pretty sincere.
Arno would definitely have like a harsh, appraising look for like a second, but then nod and be like, all right.
Well, with this staff and that book, it wouldn't be smart to give them to the Cobalt Soul, at least not at the same time. Having two of these objects that close together, that's just asking for trouble.
I am
And we
inclined
have
to
them
agree.
both in the carriage.
And better with
Practically
us.
touching.
But not the bloody carry.
Well,
Oh, shit.
we can't really hide the staff easily, but I'm probably not going to take this out again until, I don't know, I'm in a locked room. I think we
Next.
just shouldn't tell anybody about it until we know more.
That's true. If you want, because I have all of my precautions, I can take it when you're done for the night.
Maybe. Might depend on how late I am up with this. But I'll think about that. I am going to put the book in my bag for the time being.
All right. Well, now that we have some time, do you guys want to go over what else we found in Lauren's room?
Yeah, well, can anything top a ritualistic book?
I don't know. I did kind of start with my best thing, but to be honest, I didn't know what it was. He probably would finish unraveling the cloak and being like, Lucas said this cloak is magic, he thinks. And the wand apparently is as well.
What?
Mm. He would pick up like the papers and like an obvious seal and stuff and be like, all of this is for me.
Just immediately, all of this you see here, I'm letting you see it, but you can't touch it. It's mine.
Basically.
If no one wants to question about it, he will 100% be like, cool, and then start to put it in his bag.
It doesn't really want a wax seal, so I mean, enjoy your letters and wax seal.
Is that just the Cerberus assembly stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Lucas knows what all of it is, because he was there when Arno found it all.
Hicks will look at the robe and look at the wand. Kind of look at Arno a second. Can I identify these when we get back, perhaps?
Sure.
She looks really relieved at that and just kind of hands him back the items.
Right.
Yep. He takes them, wraps them back up. Also, I want to roll because I don't actually know if. Well, no, Arno did say he would show, and it was before the fight. So he gets to know that he has the wax seal.
I mean, you showed me everything when we were in the room.
We did. I know.
Yeah.
Hindsight, he would not have shown Lucas about the wax seal. If he knew the argument they would have had.
The argument happened after that, though.
It's like,
It did.
what
So,
a
yeah,
shame.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
Right.
No trust.
Okay.
Do
So
not
while that's
talk to him
happening
about
inside
this.
the carriage. So Ben,
Sorry, continue.
you are directing this poor carriage driver toward a smell.
Definitely.
I would like you to. I think I did this last time. Even though you're not in bear form, go ahead and give me a perception check with advantage as you're going down the street. Well, for one, you get closer to that area.
Ooh, that is not my best perception check ever, but I got a 14 total. Thank you,
Okay.
advantage.
Hooray. So yes, you directed him like a little more concretely up toward the road that leads like you remember passing by the Bowl of Judgment and up towards the ridge. He knows where that road is. Um, then when you get to the entrance to the west and a little south into the Sun-Cut Bazaar, that is where you have to start following your nose to see where it goes. With a 14, uh, let's see. Yeah, this by the time you get here, it's like about supper time, like maybe a little bit after supper time. So you are hankering for whatever that nostalgic smell was. Um, I'm gonna say with that 14, yeah, you go down the streets. Uh, Eventually, you get to a spot about here where the feather is.
Ooh.
You can smell it like down this little side road to the south that's a little too narrow and crowded for a carriage to continue. Just because there's like stalls and pedestrians just like packed in there. So that's as far as the carriage would be able to take you towards the smell.
All right, when we get out, I'll pay the driver a gold, and I'll actually give him an extra gold. And then I will grab the nearest companion's hand, and we're all just gonna chain down the alleyway.
All right, so Ben hops down, flings the door open. It's like, "Come on, losers, we're getting food."
He's still not going to explain himself.
Fair enough. But yeah, probably by now the rest of you are also quite hungry, having, like I said, late breakfast and no lunch. Um, so yeah, you're all kind of feeling that same rumble a little bit, and not picking out any particular scent. There are some pretty nice smells coming from the direction that Ben is dragging you.
Ben, where are
And
we going?
Just follow this way.
Ben, you can't. When you find what you're doing, we need to talk about you running off. And this is her yelling after him because he is like speed walking and he is so much taller with reach. So she's like yelling
I
at him
could be
through the
pulling
streets.
you.
Oh, great.
All right, I would definitely like to lead everybody to the delicious smell that
all
you
right.
described
Well,
so nicely last time.
When you get close enough to it, you realize, Ben, why this particular smell was so nostalgic. This is the smell of honey flame bread.
I wondered if that's what you were going to do. I'm going to buy some for everybody and then make them eat it.
Make them eat it. Open your mouth right now. Jesus.
The only way this would be better would be if Ben's favorite food had blueberries in it.
I mean, that's probably an optional like aside or an optional variation of the bread.
I got yours with extra blueberry, Lucas.
I know he doesn't say a word of it. He just passes it, and Lucas is like, and Ben's like, no, you're gonna eat it.
It's like sweet, spicy. I could see blueberries going with that for anyone besides Lucas.
Oh my god.
Ix, as Ben is dragging you all down this street towards some unknown goal, something catches your nose as well.
Is it my favorite food?
Make a perception check, see if you can pick out the specific smell.
Perception is +5.
Did we just find the best part of town?
We just
That'd be
found
amazing.
all of our favorite foods in order and stuff.
That's 17 perception.
You pick up the distinct smell of fusaka fish.
Ix will try and actually twist out of Ben's grip to kind of slow down. to try and find where it is, and she's close to it now because she's like, oh, that
Roll
smells
a
like home.
contested strength check.
Oh yeah, she's not gonna get out of it. I'll do it though, since he's gripping.
I guess
Oh my god,
if
is
we
that
were
It's
gonna
time for a
do
nat 20. You can do it.
grappling, you could do acrobatics or athletics. Versus my, I guess I have to do athletics. I don't get to choose.
You're
So
the one
I'll try.
dragging.
that
I'll
actually
try.
gets to be in your favor. So
I'll
Yep, I
try
got a 19.
acrobatics. Oh no, that's a 6. So she's literally like using her feet to try and like Ben, let go a second. And she's like,
all right, Ben will stop and he'll look. What? Can't you smell it?
yeah, let go. She'll like kind of tug again, like, give me my freaking wrist.
Fine, Ben will let go.
She will stumble back because she didn't anticipate him to just like let go. So she's like kind of almost falls backwards.
Into
God,
Thorn.
God, no. Jesus, please, no. For someone who doesn't like this crap, you sure are curating it.
Who said I didn't like it?
I'm so done with you and your tone today.
You're not.
I'm not. No, I love this. I live for this. I'm having a great time.
All right, well,
Tuesday night, guys.
if Ix isn't coming, Ben will grab somebody else's hand and continue toward the deliciousness.
Who does he grab?
Oh yeah. Oh, roll a die. Let's do it.
I'll go.
Roll a d6.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll go in the order on mine. So 1, 2 is Lucas, 3, 4 is Thorn, 5, 6 is Arno.
Here we go. I love this.
So Thorn, yoink.
I think Thorn would just let it happen.
He's like, sure, all right, great.
So Thorn, you are dragged towards the source of a smell that it is explained to you, or by a sign, if not Ben. There is a vendor who sells, perhaps among other things, honey flame bread, whatever that is.
And like I said, Ben will buy some for everybody who's. And actually, he will buy one extra too.
Just one?
For now.
He knows where the place is now.
Well, if he runs off again, the first stop is going to be here, and then the Cobalt Soul.
Check where? Here? Where? Hey, by the way, Stuart, just out of curiosity, since we're in the marketplace now, does this feel at all relatively close to where Lucas bought that wine?
This area that you're in, no.
Okay.
There was a much different part of the bazaar. It's a very big bazaar.
That's fair.
How much is this costing me, Stars?
That's a good question. I'm gonna say,
Like, I don't even care.
Oh, he does not.
He's already 3 pieces into his belly before he thinks to ask what the cost is.
it's not like super expensive or anything. I would say 3 copper for a loaf.
All right.
For like, modest size loaf.
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 How much is my fish?
Your fish. Let's see.
Seafood
this time
cutlets?
of day, there's not as much still being sold, but there is still some left. The fish. I'm actually not sure how this would be presented, but I watch too much anime, so it's like on a stick, like like anime festival food or something.
Oh my god, that's perfect. That's just how I envisioned it.
With the fusaka spice on the fish fillet.
Mhm.
Let's say
You spice.
spice. I think she does spice.
She does.
She spice. Um, 5 copper for 1 fish.
Oh, she'll eat 2.
Okie dokie.
So just a question: how close does the honey flame bread taste to Ben's mom's honey flame bread? Hold on.
That I can't. Please, why would you do this? Why would you do this?
let's see. It's a little bit different, not necessarily better or worse, just a little different. It's like she makes it a particular way, like hand it passed down in the family, perhaps. Uh, Whereas this is like very clearly the authentic local, no familial changes have been made. Both are very good. It is similar enough that it still gives you the memories.
Yeah, and that would be very clear on Ben's face that he's having like a moment. So hopefully everybody else is enjoying it. What is it?
I'm about to roll for it just for fun.
It
just a d20.
It is described as a fried dessert soaked in honey and coated in Marquesian spices. So honestly, it
Right.
sounds delicious.
It does sound delicious. I got a 13, but you can't really go wrong with dessert. So at the very least, we're on the liking scheme.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
15.
pleased.
You also like
I
it.
was pleased that the Marquesian favorite food, or no, the Menagerie Coast favorite foods that got rolled both mention Marquesian spices. It's like, oh well, that's perfect for this campaign. Not that anybody knows that yet, but they do now.
And then
Sadly,
after
there are no imperial pickled plums in evidence at the moment.
Ben's gonna finish that first piece and lick his fingers clean, and then he'll just say, "Did anybody see where Ix went?"
Lucas just points
She
over
turned
towards
the
the
corner
nearby
over
finger.
there.
And Ben's gonna go find Ix. Is he able to find her?
Oh yeah,
She's not hiding.
He'll hand her the second piece of honey flame bread. Like, here, you need this.
Before I eat this, can we talk a second?
I mean, I guess. What's up? What's on your mind?
Can you not run off? Can you tell people where you're going?
I didn't run off. I mean, I just went to the. All right, fine. I'll try to be better about that.
Thank you. With everything that's. Thank you. And then she'll take a bite of the bread. And then immediately her eyes will go wide and she's like, this is so good. She does not have any manners when she consumes it at that point because she's like, this is delicious.
Ben probably looks like that sloth from Zootopia when he finally understands the joke. Just anyway, sorry.
beautiful. All right, and so yes, everybody is able to get something delicious to eat, whether it's more honey flame bread or fusaka fish or whatever is not. I was gonna say in like eyesight, but whatever nose range, whatever noses you good.
Food is good.
But yes, delicious food can be had quite readily here. With some apparently gotten to take home for later, or was when you said you got two, was one of the two for Ix?
One of the two was Ix. I'm going to also have just say I tipped the honey flame bread vendor 1 gold also.
Gee, we're throwing shit around.
Yep.
All right then. Yes, kind of a middle-aged lady. Seems like beside herself that you just gave her a gold because her bread was just so good, and so she tries to give you more.
He would definitely take it.
Yeah, these are like bigger than a roll, smaller than like a whole loaf of bread. Like a little, like you might share it with somebody if you were like having them with
Not
tea or
Ben.
something.
Ben literally just shared, guys.
No. He was saying that you might like break it in half, kind of share it is how I interpreted it. I'm
Okay.
like, no, Ben can eat a whole one
yeah.
in one bite. I don't know.
Donk.
Just
She,
shoves it
she
in his
gives you
mouth.
like 10. She gives you like 10 more of them.
He just comes back with like 2 bags and 1 in his mouth, like the little like hot puff like
Mhm.
anime vendor.
He's just like holding them in his arms, and he's letting Oogway just nibble at one of them right there.
Aw. You look like you really like this.
Yep, this is I haven't had this in so long. This yeah, I used to have it all the time when I was little, but not in a long, long time.
And yeah, this vendor, she's just gushing at you in Marquesian, which you speak, so you
Yeah.
can you were able to understand her just going on about how it's wonderful that you love her bread so much, and growing boy like you should have more.
And does not argue.
Ben, don't eat all of those at once, please. You'll get a stomach ache.
I'm fine.
Not-
How many has he had already?
6.
Let's see
Six?
how many.
Ben.
Here we're
Ben.
gonna. Ben has had. He's had more than one, so we're gonna roll that again, because that doesn't count. So he's had. We'll add them together. He's had 4.
Ick still kind of hold out her bag. Put some in the bag, Ben. You can have more when we get back.
But they're sticky.
She's gonna turn around to that vendor. Do you have bags that we could use?
She has like little papers for them that almost look like oversized oblong cupcake papers. So they're not completely wrapped, but you could at least like set them on something, just as long as they don't like turn upside down in your bag or something.
Well, I could put one on top and one on bottom. Ix will take as many as she will allow.
He gave her a gold. She'll be like, one second. She'll like take 2 of the papers, one
Yeah.
on the top, one on the bottom of each
Just
one.
makes
Say,
sense.
They're 3 copper a bun, and he gave her a gold. She's like, you
They had
cleared me
3
out for the
copper,
day.
so, yeah.
Pretty much.
After they're securely wrapped, she knows they're not going to drip all over everything. She'll put the majority in Ben's bag. And if there isn't any room in Ben's bag, then she will use hers.
This is also like getting into the evening, and she probably baked them this morning. So,
So you got to come out here first thing in the morning, then, and have them nice and fresh.
But you'll
Okay.
tell us if you leave.
I'll write a note. I'll tell the desk clerk. I mean, yes, I'll tell you.
Thank you.
This guy.
So now it's probably getting to be dark, right?
Yeah, it's definitely getting dark in the sky.
This is our last night at the Lap of the Gods.
Last night in luxury.
Ben's going to realize some things like, why did we take a carriage here? And he's going to find a clear spot on the road and roll out the magic carpet. All right, let's go back to the hotel.
You know how to drive it now?
Yes, definitely. 100%.
Do we all fit in it now? I thought the whole point was it only fits 4 people. I'll walk. It's fine.
Well, let's see. Can carry up to 1,200 pounds. It doesn't say how many people it can hold.
What's the
It
size
just
of
gives
the
a
1,200 pounds worth.
Yeah.
It also goes.
So is it an 8x10 rug? Like what?
It also
A
goes
5x7.
slower the more weight is on it.
Yeah, it goes at like half speed after a certain point.
Yeah, but look,
I'll
we
walk.
could go over the walls.
It's really fine, Ben. It's
But
You're lost, Lucas.
He wants to show you all the world.
No, oh God, we almost made it. We almost made it out, guys. Almost. I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it.
Well,
Have you
Ben's
seen-
definitely gonna fly back. You guys can join or not, up to you.
Oh, Ix will totally get on that rug. She'll sit
Oh,
on the
yes,
back
I will
and
Arno.
hold the edge.
Ben, Ix, and Arno get on the magic carpet and fly. Lucas looks at Thorn. He's like, "This feels familiar."
Yeah, let's go for a walk.
Yeah.
Not the date he planned, but the date he needed. So how cool is the city from up above on the carpet? Oh god.
Just because we're flying, like, if you two start flirting in the front of this vehicle, Ben will still totally bail.
No, jump off.
He'll just jump off.
It's just like, that's it, I'm out. He's like, I'm done. It's like, God, every day, you people. Oh, yeah, we've seen this. This is super cool. That
Yeah,
palace is
It's
ginormous.
the perfect place to take a magic carpet ride.
It's really neat.
With that special somebody.
There's 3 of us on this carpet. Technically, there's 6 because of the pets.
7.
7.
Oh, shit, yeah.
There's so many pets. There are as many pets as not pets now.
Is that blue snake still with us?
Oh, he took off.
He was wrapped around Thorn's arm. I don't know.
The blue snake has bailed by now.
Aw.
I was gonna say we had like several hours worth of whatever. But...
Probably lost interest at the library. He's like, oh, you guys are boring now.
Yep.
No one's saying you can't get yourself one, Thorn. Apparently.
Yeah, just
Lucas
ask
doesn't
Ix
know
where she
that,
got
yeah.
her new one.
I don't know that we all know that.
Yeah, it's true. Only Arno knows.
Ah, true.
Yep.
I know the name. I don't know what it looks like.
Also, not sure that Thorn would risk asking Ix anything right now, but
That'd be a smart move. She's like,
We're
"Yeah,
just
I can
gonna
shoot
wander
you."
the streets. Hey, Thorn, you wanna go? Wanna go look for a vendor?
Oh god, it's the 2 of you. You guys, oh, it's gonna end so badly.
It's fine. It's
The vendor's gonna
fine.
end up stabbed. It's fine.
Yep. Unless Thorn had a different interest in let's take a walk. Lucas can make this go a nice long time. Let's go.
I had no plan.
All right. You want to go look for a vendor?
Sure.
Even if we can't find him, we can start scouting.
Oh, that vendor. Yeah, let's go find him.
Where did you think we were gonna go?
I just totally forgot about that guy.
What did you think? What did you want to go buy?
No, I had no idea what vendor you were looking for a second until you put like a strange amount of emphasis on it.
It's a vendor, you know, a vendor. Just say it differently.
You spice.
Could be lots of things, but no, it's you know.
Yeah, let's go fuck up that guy for lying to you.
He might not have meant to lie to me.
Do we really
But-
believe that though?
I'm
You
trying
know,
instigating shit.
The benefit of the doubt is a thing. I will not lie. I am definitely hoping for one outcome more than the other. But
Well, all right. If this is happening, then I will either have each of you roll or one of you roll with advantage, aided by the other, an investigation.
what are we rolling? Investigation. Hold on. Let me go look up that
Investigación.
modifier.
+0.
Pretty sure. But yeah, +0.
Let's just both roll.
All right, let's do it.
8.
I'm using that inspiration. Hold on. That was no better. Oh, well, it was a little better, but I rolled a 10.
All right. You look around for what seems like a reasonable amount of time. I don't know how much you want to invest in this right now. Neither hide nor hair.
All right, well, at least we killed some time.
We tried.
An
Tomorrow's
attempt
another
was
day.
made.
Can I have
And
a
it's a really nice night.
Can I have a swig of that wine?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Both get drunk.
How long can I chug this wine before it
when
like?
it
Long
starts
you chug this
milking.
wine.
Let's test what endless means.
Let's see who can chug longer.
I was gonna say the answer depends on how many Constitution checks you want to make.
I don't know. Are we competing on this, Lucas?
I am totally open for this, but I do want to ask, Mister. I kind of know the rules about this place now. Is public intoxication going to get us in trouble?
Nah.
All right, cool.
As long
Lucas
as
does
you
not
don't do
insight check
anything
that.
stupid. Fair. All right. Are you taking it in turn, or are you going until like somebody? just
The
can't keep
exact
going?
question was, how long can I chug this for?
Yep.
So,
Give me.
so it's
a
going to be who can chug it for longer.
All right.
Follow-up attempts might be made.
Who is going first?
Thorn is, I think.
Yep.
He asked the question probably while holding it.
Give me a Constitution check.
That is a 18.
18. Impressive. Yeah. Thorn goes for a pretty good long while before it gets boring. Or he just needs air. Whichever happens first. It keeps going and going. It does not seem like the bag is getting any emptier.
He eventually hands it back to Lucas. And it's just like, try to beat that.
If
Fuck
Lucas
yeah.
would give me a Constitution check.
Constitution check. Please hold. Check, not save. Check, not save. 19.
Okay. Also very
16
impressive.
plus 3.
Yeah, you keep going. You make a point of going just a little bit longer than Thorn did, but by the end, you're like, if you overdo it, you might just lose your taste for this wine. That's how much of it you're getting in one go.
He finishes off that like 1 extra second or 2 longer than Thorn and puts it like pulls it down and just kind of smirks at him and raises a brow a little.
I'm taking another swig, seeing if I can beat him.
You make another check then.
That one was worse. That was a 9.
Now you make a Constitution saving throw. But you did get the Paladin bonus.
What is that again? Your paladin bonus?
5.
Plus 5.
Okay.
Plus 5.
Bunch.
17.
Too much. All right. You go for another long haul and you're like, oh, this was a mistake. You have to, let's see, you go for a few seconds and then you're like, oh nope, I need to stop. But you keep it down. Nothing comes back out, thank goodness. But it felt a little precarious for a moment there.
He'll probably just have like a, okay, you won this one this time, but we'll have a rematch later. I'm just telling you now.
You name the time, you name the place, I'll bring the wine.
I'd hope you would.
Perfect. Also, Thorn have inspiration.
I think I already have inspiration.
You can give somebody your inspiration.
I'll give it to Lucas.
Yes, I just used it up. Bonding. And neither of us got drunk. We just drank a lot of wine. It was great. Good job.
Oh yeah. Well, not saying neither of you got drunk. You just didn't get sick.
Fine, neither of us got sick. I'll call that a success tonight. Nice and rosy cheeked.
Probably getting a little buzzed at the very least. Maybe that was a lot of wine. Tab.
This thing is great.
Honestly, might be cheap wine, but it does the job, so worth it.
I'm gonna drink more than enough to get my money's back. Not tonight, but overall.
I mean, you paid the price of 10 fancy bottles.
We're drinking a lot of wine.
It's like you thought you were spending the price of what could have been 2 stupidly fancy bottles, but no, it's 10 normal fancy bottles. Ah, very good then, very good. So yes, everybody in their various groups makes their way back to the lap of the gods. Let's see. So the flying carpet group would arrive first. Is there anything you all wish to do before heading up to your rooms, or once you're in your rooms? Wait up for the others, or just go crash?
Well, Ix would go to her room. She would get the items from Arno, tell him that she'll work on it, and then go into the room and hastily take out her enduring spellbook and take out her ink because she's panicked now because her previous book was, she incinerated it. So she's like, I need to write down the identify spell again. So she starts flipping through the book and realizes her spells are in there, and she's just dumbfounded for a second and just continues to flip through the pages, like not believing that everything is in this book that she didn't even touch yet. Like, she's just like, oh, okay. So she takes that in a moment and kind of just gives a silent thanks and then identifies the items.
Also, when you grab your book, despite your 20 passive, you didn't notice at first because you were panicking, but once you see that your spells are there, it clicks. You look at the cover again, and just kind of lightly pressed into the leather cover is the familiar shape of the Moonweaver symbol. Very faintly.
That's really cool, actually. So yeah, she would then identify said items. Where are they at again? She would identify where is it? The wand and the cloak.
All right, in that order.
And then and technically the snake staff. Yes, in that order.
Okay. The wand is a wand of smiles.
Oh God, no! Shut up, Tony. All right, cool.
Let's see. The cloak. Let's see. Open you up in a tab. The cloak. What is the name of the cloak? I have that written down. I closed that tab because I thought I was done with it. What a fool I've been. It is a cloak of many fashions.
Oh.
Which I will be posting descriptions of these momentarily.
He has a magic cloak that lets him travel around in disguise, and he wanders around in assembly clothes? What an amateur.
He's a total
He's such an idiot. It's okay.
He's like super green, so green. He has no idea. Like,
I have the ability to disguise myself. I won't.
His parents are looking for him right now. They're concerned because his ankle bracelet fell off and now no one can identify him.
Just because it doesn't matter anymore and I feel bad for this man. He had a fake letter of introduction. That's how he got the apartment, was by acting as a liaison from the Cerberus Assembly. So he had to stay dressed the part. That was how he got his apartment provided to him. Because he was a traveling scholar from overseas.
don't care. We're still gonna drag this poor kid. He doesn't
I
deserve
mean-
any of this.
Feel free to continue.
Oh,
You're
we
like, I
will.
just feel like he's like, I feel bad for this fictional character that I have no emotional attachment to. But damn, guys, like it's like, lay off a second.
I was talking to Kitty about that a little bit just recently. I'm like, I know they've only seen this part where he looks like an idiot, so that's fair. But I mean, come on.
He's like, he's still
I
a person,
mean-
he's trying his best, and the rest of us are like, you're a piece of shit.
I mean, I'm not saying he's not a piece of shit for, other reasons.
Well, let's be honest. His story, like himself, was full of holes.
Ah.
I love how Bennett responded first. Beth immediately was on that, like, yeah. Holy shit.
So good, so good.
I feel like
Damn.
Tony is trying real hard to get Ben more inspiration for puns.
I can't. I still have inspiration. Must pun more later.
So while we're going back to our rooms to do stuff, Thorn is going to study that book more carefully.
Very good, very good. Let's see.
He spends the whole night preparing,
Okay.
and in the morning summons Zahir.
Blah, blah, blah.
I gotta have my Wheaties for breakfast first.
Like, it's like the trick was actually being able to read the book.
Yeah, it turns out the ritual is super easy to do once you get past the language barrier.
I mean, it's not surprising. Like, Zahir wants to be brought back. He's like, cool, it literally just says push here. I just need someone to push the button.
All you have to do is turn out the lights, look in the mirror, and say Zahir 3 times.
I don't want this to be hard.
After generations of translations, it's turned into blood sacrifices at midnight. And it's like, no, the mirror,
That part's
just dancing around a
fun,
fire.
but also, what was that I heard you say,
Reflection was
Jess?
meant to be literal, not figurative.
What was that I heard you say a minute ago, Jess?
What?
Push the button.
I know, right?
Mm.
Just need someone gullible enough or coerced enough to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's from the other campaign.
So good.
So down.
Like, here, let me make this decision easy for you.
So after identifying the items,
Yes.
Ix
And
would,
also the staff of the adder, as
yep,
previously
she would have
mentioned.
identified that. Yeah, she would then bring the items to Arno and tell him what they are. She would not hide any information on either.
Okay. What is one smile?
So
You point it at people, and they're forced to smile if they fail a charisma check, wisdom check.
yep, it's a DC 10 charisma saving throw, which any of us in this party could get past no problem. Like,
Especially with Lucas standing next.
I
yeah,
can't
no
fail
joke.
that check. You cannot
You
force me
really-
to smile.
you could literally, I swear. I mean,
I don't have to roll.
even on a nat 1, I feel like
I-
it would just be a smirk at best.
I house ruled that nat 20s and nat 1s apply to saves. There's a 5% chance that you will have to smile.
I don't
mean, he'll
like
smile
that
happily.
one looks like it's topped with a spider.
It's a generic photo they use. I hate it.
But I hate it.
That wouldn't make me smile. I don't understand.
I know.
Well, what about the prop that somebody sent the Critical Role crew that just has like a row of teeth spiraling up the length of the wand?
Oh,
But
Oh,
why?
Not
Because
good
creepy.
either.
smile.
smile with your teeth.
That's
Ugh.
a toothy grin.
No.
Sure,
And then
sure,
they
sure.
Or a
bad.
toothy maw.
Then the Cloak of Many Fashions does not require attunement. While wearing the cloak, you can use a bonus action to change the style, color, and apparent quality of the garment. The cloak's weight doesn't change, regardless of its appearance. The cloak can't be anything but a cloak. Although it can duplicate the appearance of other magic cloaks, it doesn't gain their magical properties.
Fancy.
The wand also does not take attunement or use attunement. Require attunement. There we go. I got to the word eventually. Struggled a little bit there. Oh, and she'll tell him about her spellbook. About how all of the spells were just in the new one. How do you show appreciation for her? Like, what would you do?
I mean, sometimes I pray to her and like give her thanks.
I don't think I'll do that. I don't think that that's a thing that I want to do.
Ignore that. I was clicking
What
something
are you
else.
doing, Tony? Trying
Don't
to light
worry
off.
about it.
I
That
don't
wasn't
know.
supposed to happen.
It wasn't supposed to happen.
Just do what you want in honor of her? I don't know.
It's just that easy. It's
Yeah.
always that easy.
Yeah.
It's still
mean,
kind of is confused by
I
that, but at the
tend
same
to
time.
try to help like other people on their paths as like a thank you for her helping me, but that's just a me thing. That's not like you have to.
I'll have to do something. She said she'd help my brother, so I can't just
She
leave
did?
it. What?
She did?
She said it could be arranged, but I don't have any details past that. Honestly, I'm surprised she was able to hold back Tiamat. I don't know if it's proximity.
What she had said to you specifically, you asked if she could help your brother,
Mm-hmm.
and she said if basically if you were to break away from Tiamat, it was possible that you could save her.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so sorry. She
could help you save your brother.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. I have to show her appreciation somehow. I can't just let it be. I can't just owe her.
Arno doesn't pay it back, he pays it forward.
I do.
It's funny because I mean I did think about it, but I was like, nah, it's not the moment. Like
feelings.
And then you have to say things like that. You have to say it like that. Like it sticks in my head when you say it like that. Is it break time? I want a hot pocket.
Let's see. Do we want to bring Lucas and Thorn back to the Lap of the Gods first, or have a break first?
Well, we could like finish
one
out the
vote.
night if you want.
I won't lie. I thought we already were back at the Lap of the Gods because we're not
Yeah.
doing anything. But so
Yeah. Unless something happens when we get
Arno
back.
would do with Lucas before like the night ended.
Let's take a break.
Also, I mentioned the three on the carpet arrived
Mhm.
first, and then Lucas and Thorn arrived sometime later.
AKA, I have to use the bathroom and would rather do that before whatever you have planned.
Let's take a break.
Okay.
Welcome back, people who are eating food that we're not going to watch them right now. But we're still going to carry on with the game.
That's on our Patreon.
Yes. If you would like early access to our live stream,
ew.
I know it's for everybody, but I mean, come on. Somebody somewhere.
be sure to click the link in the description in the doobly-doo.
Just kidding, there's no link. But made you look.
There is no
We're not that famous.
Also,
If you
I-
looked, get out.
Also, I enjoy the term doobly-doo.
Doodly
I can't do that when I'm drinking fast. I almost sat on my phone.
I'm glad it was that funny.
Well done, well done. Very well then. So some of the party has arrived back at the lap of the gods. We return now to the rest of the party, getting back to the lap of the gods, specifically Lucas and Thorn. So, something was briefly discussed during the break. So, I presume that is what is going to be happening, unless Thorn has plans other than reading a book.
No, Thorn's going to his room and reading a book.
Gonna read a book, read a book.
Yep.
Lucas is also going back to his room.
Yep.
I enjoy that the cadence of that line is distinct enough. So Lucas is back in his room.
Yeah. And then after 15 minutes or so, he would hear like a knock on the door.
Yeah.
Saw that, kitty.
And Arno would just have a like, it's me.
What's up? Just kidding. He opens the door a little bit.
Yeah. Arno would probably be leaning against like the door frame and just kind of have a like, so remember how we were talking about how stupid Lauren was
Yeah,
earlier?
several times actually.
Several times.
Was a reoccurring theme.
I just wanted to check to see if you didn't want to be stupid, because I could put a protection on your door. If you want.
It took me entirely too long to connect why you would do that. Yeah, yeah, Lucas considers for a moment, and he's not that I don't appreciate the sentiment, but you really think it's necessary tonight? I mean, we're all the way in Ankarel.
Yeah, and he could have led people all the way to Ankarel.
Yeah, he could have.
If you don't want it, I don't have it. Yeah, he would like go to turn away like, you don't. It's fine, whatever.
No, it's fine. What kind of protection are you talking about?
You know, just one where if someone enters your room, like not you, but like someone not you enters your room, like it would notify me.
I would love to know the general feelings that Arno's got going on over here while he's making this offer.
Insight then.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck that. Okay, Lucas knows nothing because that was a 7.
Did you don't know? Arno
Yeah, I know
is
nothing.
that-
I know nothing. He is impossible to read right now. Stupid
As
die.
Arno rolls
Hold
a
on.
natural 2.
I don't know. Maybe that's true. You could roll lower than me. What'd you get?
Oh, sorry. No, he still got a 10, but like he rolled a 4, so almost.
My modifier I think is a +1, so it's a 7. But yeah, no, it's not good enough.
Yeah, Arno's is a 6 +6, so
Yeah, no, that's valid. If you do it to my door, does that mean you can't do it to yours?
well, I have the rapier, which means that no one can sneak up on me.
But they could still sneak into your room.
Yeah, but I can do the lock one on my door. But that just means that it's harder to like break in, which is fine. Whereas I feel like you would more want to know if someone is coming in or out of your room.
I think it would do better on your door. Or, I mean, if you really want to put it on someone's door, you could put it on someone else's. Oh. Thorin could probably use it if he's going to be up to some weird things tonight. And Ix could always use it. You know, she's been having a hard time.
I mean,
What's that?
sure, but you have shit going on.
Don't we all?
Okay, so you and Dawn technically are both potentially being trapped. Will you not just let me do it? Let me just do it on your door, please.
Okay, fine. Can I insight check that again? Is that a different insight check?
Sure.
That was a breaking character moment. It's like, can I just do it? 13. This is where he rolls like a 27. It's fine. But 13.
No, he rolled a 14.
Motherfucker. Yeah.
Lucas detects frustration, but nothing deeper than that.
It's fine. Yeah. No, this is fair. You know what? All right. If it makes you feel better.
Yeah. Thank you.
Was that it?
Yeah, he would probably hesitate. I'm just gonna be like, yeah,
All right.
for at least tonight.
Okay. Then you just need to do it in the doorway or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he would go and start.
No, it's legit. Like, does he just need to do it on the doorway, or what does he need to do? I don't know how the spell works.
Hold on. A door, window, or area within range that's no larger than 20-foot cube.
Okay, cool. So if you just have to do it to a door,
He would
you can
do
it
the
to a
whole entire
door.
room.
Oh, well, that's a different answer.
Would he not let him do the whole entire room? Okay.
Well, if
sure he's
Arno,
wondering.
like Lucas is asking and he is anticipating Arno in the doorway, and if Arno moves to come in, does he move to like come into the room then, now that like permission's been granted, basically? Because like I said, Lucas wouldn't know how to spell
basically.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's just like a brief hesitation, and then he lets Arno come into the room. So yeah, go ahead, do your thing. Thanks.
Cool.
Just had to check.
Mm-hmm.
He just kind of like leans back against the desk and just kind of lets him do its thing. Stands out of the way.
How would Arno subtly investigate the room?
What?
Because this
what
is
just-
now the second time that Lucas has been really, really antsy about like.
Are you
Armors being
looking
mystery.
anywhere or for anything in particular, or just seeing if there's anything to see?
Like seeing if there's anything out of place, anything of that would make sense why Lucas would be so hesitant to let Arno into his room.
Okay.
He would hide as
Make-
much as it that he can in the pretending or not pretending to set up the alarm, but like making it seem
Pretending
like
it's all been a
spell
ruse.
casting.
Make a charisma stealth check.
Okay, hold on. Charisma.
So charisma and add whatever proficiency bonus you add to stealth checks, including expertise if you have expertise.
Oh, it's so much harder to mobilize. Okay, hold on. Stealth is a +7 using Dex. So charisma, he has 1 less. So +6. So 22.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to play it off as, oh yeah, I'm just getting the spell in place, man. Don't worry about it.
Man.
Man. Hey man. Let's see. And with that handled, go ahead also make a perception check to see if anything seems out of place or off. Since I presume you're not going to dig through his stuff or something while he's watching.
No. He is erring on the side of I'm not doing shit. Perception?
Yeah.
17.
17. Okay. You look around Lucas's room, trying to be surreptitious about it. It mostly looks very similar to your room and the others' rooms. Other than the bed is made, doesn't look like it's been used. That could just be housekeeping. Who knows? 17, you said?
Yes.
One thing that's different from the other rooms, it looks like something may have been burned in the fireplace, like some papers, possibly. Just as one or two, maybe 1 or 2 pages of something. Can't make out what it might have been, but
All right, noted.
it's about all that catches your notice. You just see Lucas standing off to one side, kind of watching you do your thing.
Yeah, once he was finished, he would probably just look over at Lucas and be like, right.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Yep. He would probably just.
Probably just
Kind of
what?
like glance at him, but not like want to like fully like look him directly in the eyes, and he probably would just like skirt out the door.
Can I get one more insight check?
Go for it.
Sorry.
Mod 20.
Oh,
I just want a general vibe on Arno's exit.
vibe check.
So he got a 9. So he looks awkward, like he doesn't know what to do around Lucas right now.
Okay.
But that it was like out of actual like genuine worry that he wanted to make sure that like Lucas was protected.
Okay.
Even if Arno doesn't really want to talk to him right now.
That's fair. All right.
And
Like, I'm mad
maybe
at you,
wanted to-
but I also don't want you stabbed in your sleep. So, like...
And maybe he had things he wanted to say that he's holding on to.
All right. Arno will make it basically to the door to like leave, like out the door, and just very quietly as he goes, Lucas just says goodnight.
Insight check.
Stars, what the fuck?
The DM just threw you into the fire. Yeet, and you just wow.
I am kidding, but
I'm not.
Instigator! What'd you get?
17.
I mean, have you seen my display name?
17?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 17, you're saying.
23. Good night, Arno.
Basically.
Yep. Arno would totally have paused and like looked up at him, trying to read him, obviously failing, and just gonna be like, good night.
And you got like 3 insight checks on Arno.
No, it's true. I don't mind it. It was just really... I called all of my own insight checks. I staggered them to key moments where Arno had a different reaction than, like, a personality shift.
The good night was a different reaction.
No, you're good. Like I said, I timed my 3 checks. Key moments. It's all good.
And I did the same. I have no shame.
Arno leaves. Lucas shuts the door again.
Yep.
Stick my pinky up, because that's none of my business.
Also, Arno afterwards is 100% going to go to the ridge and work on the armor.
Because he can go any time of night.
Because he can, yeah.
I appreciate that emotional arguments do not stop this man from his craft.
Listen, he gets to smash things with his hammer, okay? Like,
This is true.
on one hand,
In a god
yeah, he's still gonna make,
In a god forge,
he's gonna make this for Lucas because he is a sucker. And then on the other hand, he gets to
Smash.
hammer things. Yeah.
Lucas gets an almost
simping.
pristine set of mithril armor, but the one shoulder thing is like clearly was dented and then pushed back into place.
No, it's gonna be pristine just for him to feel guilty about it. It will be perfect.
Flawless in every way.
I can't wait for you to look at him in this armor, and every time you look at him, you're just like, God damn it, I am such a sucker.
Yeah. God damn it, I'm such a sucker. God damn it, I'm so good. I'm so good. Look at that craftsmanship.
There's a little ambivalence happening here.
I love it. I love it so much.
He's being torn two different directions. So if we weren't in session for a while yet, I'm a little tempted to add another role to Arno, but I'm not going to do that right now.
Okay.
I'm a little sad that none of the roles I've given people have been commented on, but that's it. They amuse
What?
me.
What roles? I don't know what
On
you're talking
Discord.
about. Oh, I haven't even looked. Sorry.
There are roles.
Wait, what roles? Where?
Everyone pauses to look.
There's nothing posted.
No, if you click on your profile.
My profile?
Okay. Very nice, very nice.
My profile on Discord?
Oh,
don't know what's
that's
going
so
on.
good.
They've been there for a while, but nobody said anything.
I love it.
Where are these messages?
Yeah, I don't know.
When you find them, you'll find them.
But
Anyway.
no! Tell me where they are, please!
Oh, I mean, you just have to click on your name.
On the right sidebar on the list.
No, you can click on your name anywhere. It'll do the same.
Oh, yeah.
In Discord or in
Mhm.
Roll20?
You said Discord.
Discord roles.
Yeah, just click your name.
It just says Discord member. I don't know.
Then click your name on the right-hand side if you need to.
I guess I'll find this later because I have no idea what you're seeing.
You didn't just click your username? A little window pops up.
A tiny one, and it says switch accounts, set custom. I'm glad we're freaking recording this. I'll deal with this later. It's fine.
No, on the right side, not the left side.
I'm not on the right side because I have a pop out. I'm not on the right side. I don't know.
Well, that's your own dang fault then, isn't it?
I don't know what's going on.
Well, what's going on is that y'all are having a long rest.
Okay.
I just
Except
see I'm
Arno.
most attractive. Hold on.
Yes, that had to be marked down.
That is one of your roles. That's exactly what he's talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
And
pirate
also-
treasure.
Yeah, because remember we were at the I think it was at the caravan stop, or
Is that
shortly
it?
before we were talking about
The booty.
Yeah.
Hey, Professor, what's
You mean
another word for pirate treasure? Well, I
Oh,
think it's booty.
You said rolls, and I thought you meant like rolling dice. I had no idea you meant like a title. I'm over here losing my mind. Like, what is he talking about? Yeah, no, I knew about those a while ago.
Okay. Well, that
I did
was
not.
a profitable and worthwhile endeavor then.
I'm so sorry to derail everything because I'm stupid. Oh shit.
You were just looking for something new because you had already seen them before. So they were old news to you. It's okay.
Oh. I'm my own problem, guys. Oh, okay.
I'm my own problem.
I like
Long
that both
rest.
It's fun.
Tony and Kitty were like taking screenshots and circling things to make it even more obvious too while this was happening.
I can't even be mad. Can't even be mad.
It got you back. All right. But yes,
He's just
so
grumbling. I agree.
I forgot about that. Yes. that was the most recently added one, I believe. But yes, you all mostly bed for the night. Arno, you said you were going up to the ridge.
Yep.
Okay. I don't specifically remember that the 24/7 being discussed, but do you
He
go
had
up there?
asked if he works super late, like in the evening, and then he's like, "Yeah, I don't really like sleep normal
Oh
hours."
yeah. Because you had to go up there and you had to like. That's right. Yeah, no, he's okay. Yeah, I forgot about parts of the timeline here. So Arno, you make your way back up to the ridge. Are you walking or are you getting a carriage for one?
Well, now that he knows that carriage exists, yeah, he's just gonna get a carriage. Fuck that shit.
Okay, 2 silver for just yourself. Um, these boots were not made for walking, or at least they've done too much walking in the last couple of weeks. Walking some holes through the soles. But you carriage your way back up to the ridge, back to Ariok's Sun Forge. He is still up doing a little bit of work. He looks like he has finished smelting. He hears the carriage go by and stop, turns around to see you exit, and he just beams and looks like he is just like so proud that he gets to tell you that he has got your mithril ready.
Oh, Oriok, look at you, buddy. Yeah, he would probably like grin back and being like, "Am I too late? I was going to maybe work a little, if possible."
Oh, no, that would be fine, actually. Everything is smelted. All the mithril is ready to be worked. I take it you've worked with metal before from our previous conversation. I will be here with you while you're working with my stuff. Um, but yes, so what do you have planned?
I want to start working on mithril chainmail.
Oh yes,
Right?
you had told him chainmail because you wanted to make sure there was enough for that. So, yes, all right. Well, let us get started then. And
that is what Lucas already has, right? It's chainmail, not like chain, not a chain shirt.
No, it should be chainmail. I will 100% check that.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, chainmail.
He's got chainmail that he's currently got pared down to just a chain shirt for the sake of heat, and also it doesn't give him disadvantage on stealth at the moment.
Okay.
But is less protective than wearing the whole set.
Okay.
Easier to move around in, though, for what that's worth. But yeah, so you get started. It is probably like 8 o'clock or something by now. If you wanted, you could do like a half work day and go till midnight. With Ariok helping. Yeah, with Ariok helping, that would like double the progress, so you would get 1 day of work done with his help.
Okay. You will take that.
So you work just a little bit into the night, just until the witching hour. Set aside the progress. He takes it inside so it's not just sitting out in the outdoor workshop, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, he brings it in with him. Wipes off his brow because that was a lot. 4 hours metalworking. But yeah, he waves farewell for the evening and wishes you a good night.
Mm-hmm.
But not in the same way that Lucas said it.
No.
He says it like a normal
because
person.
Arno would be able to easily read what he meant when he said goodnight, unlike certain.
Yeah. Ariak is just being what is apparently his usual peppy self.
I feel like they would just be like chit chatting the whole entire time.
Oh, naturally, he would definitely succumb to chit chat.
Mm-hmm.
Arno tells Oriak all about his problems.
Ariak listens intently, going, "Yes, I see that is a problem, isn't it?"
No, Arno would probably tell Oriak about like his family, like not like lots of details, but how he comes from like blacksmiths or metal workers, and giving nice little anecdotes, that kind of stuff.
Naturally.
Mm-hmm.
But does he say anything about his twin sister? Is she your twin sister or your younger sister? I'm trying to remember.
Twin sister, but she is
obviously the younger twin.
Yes.
Obviously.
Even if that's not true, that is what he is going to say.
He treats her like the younger twin.
Mm-hmm. So he would tell her or tell Oriak about Amelia and their rivalry.
He seems a bit enthralled, greatly amused by your anecdotes about your sister, and the rest of it. But the rivalry just tickles his funny bone a little bit. But yeah, you get your work done. Head back to the lap of the gods, I presume.
Yep.
Okay. And I guess you wouldn't have any trouble staying up till midnight because there's only you've only been here a couple of days. You're getting used to the different time zone. I would say probably by tomorrow you all will be acclimated to the your new sun up and sundown times.
Yeah. So Arno is probably just like a night owl anyway. So performing, being in pubs.
Seems legit. But yes, you'll get back, have your long rests, such as they are. Nothing happens during the night. You'll wake up the next morning, bright and fresh. 'Tis a new day. I was going to look up and just announce what the day is, but then I got distracted talking about Discord roles. Like I was almost to the calendar.
It's the 20th of Fezerin.
Yes, it is now. We have moved on from Grisson. It is now Welson morning. What are your day of the week, Matt? Well. But yes, it is now the 20th of Fesrin. It is now your fourth day in Ankarel. What's the plan?
This is the day that we have to check out, right? Like, what time is checkout?
11 a.m.
Yeah, 11.
All right.
And yes to the question that somebody asked me.
So we have to gather our things.
Yep, head on down to breakfast. It is still complimentary.
Yeah.
And then we'll make our plan of attack, whether we're going to go to the Allegiance to see about being, I guess, spies on the consortium, or if we're going to the Colosseum. I know it's not called the Colosseum, but I wrote it down.
Did we get sort of like reward or anything for turning in Lauren, or no?
No, he was the mission for Ben to, I guess, get promoted in the Cobalt Soul.
I think speaking on the consortium, if I recall correctly, though it was a few sessions ago, we had debated whether or not it'd be a good idea to work on our own terms. Just because if we associate too closely with the allegiance, the consortium might be on to us.
It's fair. But I don't
That's
feel like
true.
we've been in the city
I mean,
long enough to really have a reputation with any particular. Well, that's not true. We've been at the Cobalt Soul quite a few times. They probably have people watching the different temples. If only, I mean, I guess any organization that would be shady, I imagine would do that. But Ix also wanted to sell the tablets in the event that we weren't going to do this just to get some money.
Well, maybe. I mean, if only one of us goes, maybe there's a way for you to do that without it seeming like a big deal.
You mean one of us go to the consortium just
No,
alone?
allegiance. If you're trying to
the allegiance.
sell the stuff, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I can definitely run that area.
Yeah, I mean, you can also, I mean, if you're trying to get into the consortium, because I mean, if you're going to tell them anything about why you're here, it might make sense that you at least tried to go see the allegiance and like fuck them, they didn't give you shit.
Camaraderie would help too. So, yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, fair point.
Are we, Thorn, did you find anything out in that book of horrors?
It might take a little bit more time, but none of it is good.
And I imagine we're keeping the staff for the time being.
Till we find something to do with it, I guess. Someplace safe to put it.
Ix would nod at that. Alright then. Where to then, boys? Because we'll eventually have to find a different place to stay.
Oh, we could. Do you want to try to stay at the same place that Ao's at?
Why? So Ao and Thorn can fight each other all day?
Because I am friendly with several of them and we can hang out.
If it's any consolation, I'm not in the mood to be fighting, so don't expect trouble from me.
Ix will actually look surprised at that. But she won't comment on it. But she clearly had a thought, but didn't let it slip. Alright then. That's not too far. Plus, I'm sure it's more affordable than here, despite how nice this place was. It'd be nice not to be surrounded by so many opulent people.
Such a good one.
I guess we'll make our way to the mongoose. What was it? I have to go back into roleplay to find it, but it was definitely a mongoose. It had
It was the harried mongoose.
the harried mongoose. Yes.
Man, do you
So we
guys think
can-
I should change? Like, am I gonna stick out like a sore thumb there?
You said it yourself. There aren't many drow around.
Yeah.
I don't think changing will help that.
Out anyway.
I meant my clothes, not my race. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, you said, "Am I gonna stick out?" Well, I mean, no matter what you're wearing, you're gonna stick out. So, like, do you want to stick out in fancy clothes, or do you want to stick out in your normal clothes?
I think it'd be best if you dressed down, yes.
I don't know, now I wanna dress up just because Lucas makes a fair point.
I have a fancy cloak.
A fancy cloak.
Yeah.
That might be a
I
little
still
bit
have-
warm for this climate.
It's the cloak of deep purple with red lining and silver trim. Super fancy.
Although, you know, on second thought, that might keep me from getting sunburned.
Ben will dig it out of his bag, setting aside all the wrapped honey flame bread that's also in his bag, and he'll hand you the
Like, I'm just thinking, he is a fair-skinned drow. He probably gets sunburned really easily.
Dude's
They
pink
are-
right now. Like, a fuchsia.
Drow are acclimated to not being in the sun. So can only imagine what a time Galceriad is having here.
Oh,
Being
Poor
a
buddy.
full-blooded drow.
so we'll make our way up to the haggard mongoose. The harried mongoose. It's only 2 minutes ago and I already forgot. I'll write it down now. I think I've proven my point.
I don't know, I think every time we should just give it, like, a different H description word.
Just to mess with me.
The hazy
Harvard
mongoose.
The hairy mongoose.
The hard-won mongoose.
The hard-boiled mongoose. Okay, I'm done.
Are you?
I have to be. We need to move on.
Do we? Okay. Well, you
Now,
were
is
told...
the whatever mongoose a nice place, like comfortable, or is it as cheap as possible?
Well,
If I remember, I
you
thought
were-
it was like in between.
you were given the general area that it can be found in. You were told it's in the river district north of the palace, which would be somewhere in this little chunk of area I'm circling with my mouse, as if you can see my mouse cursor.
As if I can see roll 20 at all.
Well, fair enough. Well, you can... I do have the map also posted in its own little channel on Discord. But yes, the little area of buildings just to the west of the big grassy area with all the water canals and such is somewhere in that area. So are you guys heading straight up there to look for the new lodgings, or potential new lodgings, rather?
Yeah.
Okay. By foot or
Get
by
that settled,
carriage?
and then how is it walking distance?
Could we theoretically just, like, hail a carriage and then tell them to take us to the harried mongoose? Like, would they know its location?
You wouldn't have to
I
roll
mean-
an investigation.
Arno wouldn't be able to do that because he has to bring kibble.
Oh,
So.
right. I forgot about kibble. It's been a while.
Ride
We
Kibble
can
around the
still-
carriage.
We could still ask people how to.
She's been
how to
checking
get
on her
there, but-
every day, but she's been pampered.
She's got a really shiny new coat, you know.
She
Got
has
her
indeed
toes
been
did.
well taken care of.
Those little bows on the back of her mane, you know.
Yeah, those are extra.
Arno would pay it if she wanted it.
$5 silver for an extra fancy horse. All right. Well, knowing the general area to look in, you're able to head up there easily enough. Let's see. Looking at this map, looks like you do have to take some main streets. It is the same main road that takes you up to the ridge, but before going up the switchback to the ridge, you can turn northeast into the river district. So heading up that way, I would have whoever is heading this search, one or two of you can roll investigation, or one person could roll with advantage.
Ben, don't you have a feat for this? Navigating
No.
the city.
Not quite. It's more my background.
Oh.
Less for finding new places in an
Yeah.
unfamiliar city.
Okay.
Like if we already knew where it was, that would help us get there more quickly. But in this case, not so much.
You said investigation?
Yeah, one or two people,
I will try.
whoever is leading.
That is
I'm
a 10.
I'll help.
so good at investigating. I would be passing.
I heard a 10.
Mm-hmm.
Was that at advantage because Arno's helping?
Oh shoot, no, it wasn't.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's a 17. That's
Okay.
a 17. Thank you, Arno. Good job.
All right. Once you're in that portion of the river district, combination of asking around and just keeping an eye out for signage, you do with minimal difficulty. You locate the harried mongoose,
Located.
which I'm just gonna put it. I'm gonna put it right there. That little building right there with a slightly darker outline. You find the place. It appears to primarily be a tavern, more than an inn, but it does seem to have rooms for rent. And in gameplay terms, it is a modest living arrangement, which I should double check because it doesn't say here. Let me see how much the room and board cost. Let's see. Expenses. Food, drink, and lodging. Okay. So where you were staying was 2 gold a night per person. This is 5 silver a night per person.
Okay.
And average of 3 silver a day for meals, unless you get meals elsewhere.
Ben survives the rest of his time in Uncorel on flame honey bread.
Yep, that's it.
100%.
Are we
Might develop a taste for fusaka fish over time.
Mm-hmm.
so since they only have a few rooms to rent, are we able to like get separate rooms or do we have to bunk up?
Since it's not properly an inn, this would be probably all of you in one larger room.
Okay.
Oh no.
We don't have to stay here.
Here we go again.
I need to roll. A fucking. Where am I at?
And the room is pretty much just comfortable beds. They're not like wooden cots with barely anything on them like the sweaty room. But decent beds and not much else in the room. Maybe a little table by each bed. And a trunk at the foot of each one.
Ix manages to keep her mouth shut the entire time.
But did she keep it from her face?
Nope. Only so much she can handle right now.
I mean, we don't all have to stay here.
We don't all have to stay here. You want to split?
I'm not thinking about. I'm just looking. He just like gestures subtly at Ix.
It's fine, Lucas. Thank you for your concern. So yeah, Ix will pick a bed and then put her pack down and get her stuff out, I guess, to just get comfortable for a second, to just situate everything.
Ben will make a little spot for Shifu and set out some food for him.
This is cozy.
Yep.
I'm so done with you, Stars.
Arno.
Never be done with
Arno
me.
would put some stuff in the trunk.
Cut the tension with a knife, guys. Okay. So then it's just so heavy. I'm not even in a room with you guys, and it just feels stuffy right now. I'm like, oh my god. Like,
Thorn's.
physically...
I'm gonna say, with all this tension and awkwardness, Thorn's just gonna walk back out and return to the tavern portion of this building. Like...
Hey, I wanted to go back to the library. You guys okay if I do that?
No, go for it.
Ben's gonna roll out the flying carpet and fly back to the library.
He like inside. He rolls it out inside, and he has to go through the
Just-
doorways
Yes.
to get out. And
Out
he's
the
like,
window.
"Yes!"
The edges of it have to like smush and curl a bit to get through the passages. But once he's outside, it goes whoosh.
Ix would shake her head. I don't know if I'll ever get used to that.
Ben? Yeah, me neither.
Oh, Ben, the car. Well, maybe
Well.
Ben too. Like she does. She's like that. Yeah, you can see it. After she gets all settled. All right, I'm gonna head back to the Allegiance. See if I can get anything for these tablets.
That is the perfect gift, Kitty. Fusaka. All right. So, just X by herself heading to the Allegiance.
Unless Lucas or Arno want to go with her, but she's not going to invite Thorn on the way out. She's just gonna walk out.
I don't think Thorn would offer to go with her.
Yeah.
Ah, Lucas and Arno in a room together. Ah.
This has happened before, I feel like. You two have been in a room together alone. How long ago was that? Oh, yeah.
You know, how long ago since I liked it?
Alright. I'm gonna mute myself. I'm not there. I'm not there. Nope.
Pain.
Yeah.
All right.
I
So
am.
Ben is heading to the library,
Oh.
and X is heading to the chateau. And I interrupted somebody.
I was just curious whether our quote-unquote rivals were here presently.
You have not seen them so
Okay.
far. Having seen your room, it doesn't seem unlikely that they probably sleep here, and that is it.
That makes sense. They have low
That's fair.
standards.
I mean, so did we until we came into money.
I don't know. I feel like we still had high enough standards to realize that, like, a ready room style, all beds in one room was not okay. They obviously were like, the beds don't have bugs in them. It's fine here.
Yeah.
Who wants-
Arno is probably inwardly making a bet to see how long we actually stay in this place before we decide, like, you know what? We can visit them. We don't
Who
need
wants to
stay.
push the beds together for a cuddle pile?
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Nope.
Man, how
No
the dynamic
thanks.
has changed since Bazozan.
How the turns have tabled. Yeah, y'all were closer when things were bad. We should go back to Bazozan.
It's all right. It's just a hiccup. It's
To
fine.
be fair, in some
Yeah.
ways, it feels like Bazozan was the thing that fucked that up. So.
Only some of it.
Just watching
Arno is
that.
100% pulling out the Elixian composition and is working on that. Like, cool, fun times.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go over here. Thanks. Cool.
Lucas very methodically unpacking things into the trunk, repacking them back into his bag. Just like
Mood. That's a mood.
Yep.
All right.
Arno casting glances at Lucas, but like doesn't say shit.
So, two of you have gone out. A couple of you are lingering. Did any of the other three of you have immediate plans? Or are you going to wait on Ben and or Ix to come
no,
back?
they can do their thing. Eventually, once we decide what we're doing as a group, I have another endeavor into the market to try to find a certain person. But we're gonna dedicate a little bit of each day until we find this asshole. I'm just saying.
No,
Find
that's
a
a damn.
Dementium.
Arno doesn't even know about that.
Not yet. He doesn't. Nope.
No, at
Arno
all.
hasn't had any of the wine.
Yeah, he does not
No.
know.
He hasn't.
All right. Well, we can somewhat quickly address, unless we want to role play a little bit. So Ben, you go flying through the sky twice as high to go read a book at the library. The rainbow trailing behind you. No, you make your way back to the Temple of the Mentor, which is you can make a nice beeline straight shot there. Don't have to worry about traffic. Yes, continue the gifts. They give me life. That is definitely Ben right now. Hey, you get back there. Are you heading for the lower levels, or do you have other intentions first?
No, I think Ben would go straight for the lower levels.
Okay. So you remember the path that the expositor showed you yesterday. That was like one of the last things you did yesterday before, other than getting food, which was very important and probably might have distracted you a little bit, but it was easy enough. Find your way back to the trapdoor. You head down into the dimly lit archives, past the blue torches, and as you were told by a couple people, Archivist Senka is in the exact same spot where you found him previously. Since it is so hard to not make any noise down here that does not echo, he does briefly glance up just in case it's you, and he seems relieved that he doesn't have to chew anyone out, because it is actually somebody he doesn't regret finding him. But so I presume you pick up where you left off yesterday.
Yeah. Let's see what we can
Okay.
find.
All right. So this time, now that he has kind of gotten to know you and your situation, probably done a little research in the meantime, because you've only ever seen him in this library, in this spot, basically, and the one other spot where he moved to talk to you. He's prepared a little bit. He does take you to a quiet area that seems intended for meditation, not just like chairs and a table for reading books. Does a little more guided meditation while also kind of talking about the Shadowfell a little more and some of the meaning, some of the symbolism, gifts of the Dusk Maven, stuff like that, and the touch of shadow. And you feel like you're making good progress on sorting out whatever it was that you had going on. How long do you feel like you would try to spend there?
Shoot. Well, we didn't agree on a time frame to meet anywhere. Let's say until lunchtime, and then maybe Ben will try to meet up again with his friends,
Okay,
and also eat a lot of honey flame bread.
probably so.
Probably do that first.
He does have a carpet. He can go wherever he wants at speed, because it's very, very light with just him and Uguay and Shifu. Okay, so we'll say you there with Archivist Senka for an hour, maybe 2 hours, depending on when you got there. So yeah, you feel like you're getting some things sorted out and worked through. So in the meantime, Ixarvea, you were heading back down to the Sigil District to visit the Crystal Chateau.
Yep.
Foot or carriage?
Oh, carriage. She's not gonna walk her ass all the way there.
All right, a couple silver then.
Done.
I wonder how
She
much it would
gets-
cost to buy an empty carriage.
Yeah, at this point, I think we're spending on it.
I mean, you already have a horse.
We do, and she probably would be nice about it, but yeah. So, first she'll see if she can find Alacritos, which, again, I know it's early in the morning and he likely isn't available, but if he isn't, or if she can't find him, she'll try and find Prolix, either by asking around, or walking about. The grounds are pretty, so she'd try and find Alacritos first, Prolix second, in the event that she couldn't get to Alacritos. If she had to wait for him to be available, then she would.
Okay. All right. So you head back to the chateau, hoping to find one of the individuals that you have talked to previously. At the entrance to the building, there is a, let's see, there is a maybe a younger middle-aged halfling gentleman who seems to be standing guard just to make sure that people aren't wandering in off the street. He sees you heading towards the entrance and moves himself to interpose. It's like, yes, and what business do you have at the chateau?
I wish to speak to Alacritos.
Oh, do you now? Is he expecting you?
Not at the moment. But I'm sure if you told him, he would happily see me.
Oh yes, I'll just leave my post and you can walk in while there's nobody here. Is that the plan?
I mean, I can wait outside if it's that big of a deal for you to go in and ask him. Otherwise, yes, I'd just step around you if you prefer.
You're welcome to try.
I want to hit him so hard with this staff right now.
But around this time, behind him, you see Prolix walking the halls inside the building. He doesn't seem to have noticed you yet.
She will kind of crane her neck over the guard because I'm sure he's taller than she is. She'll
No,
go,
he's
Prolix,
half.
can I have your help, please?
He's like 3 feet and change.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's shorter than Arno.
He's a halfling.
Oh, halfling. I'm sorry. I thought he said elf. That's my bad. If that would get oh, that makes this even funnier. I'm sorry. She said I'll step around you. She would have said something else. Anyway. So she won't crane her neck. She'll just kind of look over. Prolix, can I have help, please?
Prolix hears his name called, looks over and recognizes you, and he bustles over to the entrance. It's like it's okay, Jor. She's known. Ixarvea, right? Yeah. What brings you to the Crystal Chateau today?
I was hoping to speak to Alacritos regarding the tablets we had already discussed.
Let's see. Don't think he has any business yet today. Yes, come in. It's all right, Jor. I will escort her. And the halfling is just, he's like, got his eye on you as you walk around him.
When she walks around him, she's going to like turn around and give him a wink as she walks away, like as if she won something. Fucking brat.
He's got his eyes squinted the whole time. He's not taller than you, but he is older than you.
It shows. Both with her and him.
Very good. But yes, Prolix leads you back to Alacritos' office, which you have been to once before. Knocks on the door, and you are told to yes, come in. Prolix opens the door for you.
Ix will nod her thanks and take a step in. Good morning, Headmaster.
Yes, you are with the group that came back from Bazozan with Prolix, aren't you?
That is correct.
What can I do for you today?
Well, I wanted to discuss the tablets concerning where the consortium might be located. You recall the day that we showed up. We had the tablets.
Yes, you mentioned that you had acquired some from one of their initiates.
I was wondering if you were at all interested in purchasing them.
He giggles a little bit at the memory of what happened to her.
Yeah, well, I giggle too. Not that way, but yeah.
I get more of a chuckle, yeah, somewhere between a chuckle and a giggle, like a Yoda chuckle.
Oh, okay, I'm there.
Yeah. I'm sorry. How did you phrase your question again?
Oh, if you recall, when we first arrived, we had the tablets to locate or at least have a safe location for the consortium. I was wondering if you wanted to purchase them.
That is interesting. I think we might be able to do something with those. Yes. Did you have an offer in mind, or are you just hoping to see?
Oh, I couldn't possibly put any monetary amount on here, considering I have no idea what the endeavor is worth to you. I know I had mentioned to Prolix before that we might be interested in helping you with the consortium, but there's quite a bit unknown about them. So I'd like more information on them before we'd move forward with any particular plans.
I see. So you wish information and gold in exchange for these tablets, then?
Oh, that'd be the most beneficial, I feel. Oh shit, sidebar. Guys, is she selling all 3 of them or just 2?
That's up to you. Your original plan was I might give them one to show how I got to them or something. I don't know what your current plan is.
I remember 2 being mentioned. I don't.
Yeah, I
what
thought
your
she wanted to keep
Yeah.
one just.
end plan would be.
Yeah, she was gonna keep one. So yeah, I'm sorry, Stars. Can I retcon that to say 2 instead of 3 the entire conversation?
That's what I assumed you were doing. If you said 3, it
Okay,
was glossed over in my head.
perfect.
So yes, no change needed for my sake. All right. I presume you have been doing some work on your own. What do you already know? So that I am not reiterating unnecessary information.
Well, we know that they're clearly a secretive group, even though they base their entire organization off of, finding truth and knowledge. They clearly have
Also, I don't.
nefarious purposes.
Also, the DM doesn't remember what he's told you already. So.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. It's a good recap. Plus, anyone will correct me, I'm sure, if I'm wrong. So, yeah, that they have nefarious dealings, that they clearly have a fascination with ruidium, and obviously there's only one place to get it, and that would be here. And then they mostly operate secretively, that they don't come out of the shadows often. The fact that one of their own was in Bazozan, even a low level, it just seems odd to begin with. But that's honestly all we know.
Let's see. Make an insight check.
Insight. 17.
Okay. It's very small. He looks just vaguely annoyed a little bit when the term ruidium is mentioned. It doesn't seem to be because you're talking about the red substance. It just seems to be like the name itself, like just a little twinge of annoyance.
Yeah, I forgot about that. What'd they call it? They discovered it.
Because the Allegiance discovered it, but the consortium found out about it and gave it that name themselves, and somehow the name stuck.
Yeah, but what was the name that the Allegiance gave them?
I don't recall that they had officially named it yet.
Oh, okay.
And they're annoyed about that.
Yeah, Eggs would identify that, considering I think Iwo was the one that actually told us about it.
Yeah. It's like we discovered it. We should have been the ones to name it. Okay. Let's see. Do you have the tablets with you?
Yeah, and she takes one out for him to inspect and look at.
Okay. He eyes it, but he doesn't take it and do anything with it. I just wanted to see that you had them. We do know they seem to operate primarily out of the Suncut Bazaar, although they move around a lot, so it is hard to pick out a headquarters per se. As whenever we think we've found something like that, they've already abandoned it. But that general part of the city seems to be fairly consistent. Would not surprise me if these tablets lead somewhere that we have not learned about within the bazaar, or possibly somewhere else entirely. So who can say? We'll probably have to test with one, and perhaps he starts musing out loud. Perhaps scouting with a familiar, or we can send a person with a return tablet of their own. But I'm getting ahead of myself. But yes, they seem to have a bit of a. They do have a hierarchy. They have a kind of a council of leaders that we are aware of. They all have names like the owl and the weasel and is such like that, all named after animals and whatnot. And then each of them kind of oversees different operations that concerns their group.
Do you have a list of or a map of the safe houses that you have been able to find, or at least activity dealings in particular areas of the city?
Let's see. Well, they have dealings all over the city, unfortunately. But he pulls out a map that looks very much like the one he had given you guys. And he kind of circles for you with a pen the locations that he remembers off the top of his head where they had found bases of operation that are no longer in use. This is where we have found them previously. Do know they are a relatively small organization that needs a lot of money, so they do a lot of work that is, not directly related to their goals, just for the sake of funding. Sometimes they hire their members out as muscle or security or various mercenary work within the city. Meow.
Sorry.
I like that she meowed when I said meow.
She did. She knew you were talking to her.
Yeah.
Speaking of security, since their numbers are small, how are they getting into... Oh, sorry, she's knocking everything over. How are they getting into your, the maw? Is that what it's called again? The maw. Crap. Sorry.
It is called the Maw, yes.
Okay.
The Maw of Kael Morrow.
That's right. So she would segue that from, speaking of security, how are they getting around yours? Which I hear have a great reputation. So I doubt it's bribery.
His eyes narrow just a little bit. I see you have been researching more than just the consortium of the Vermilion Dream since you arrived.
Well, yeah, it's best to know the city you're in.
Suppose so.
I'm sorry, is this news to you?
We unfortunately do not. Well, he didn't tell you anything about the Maw or Kael Morrow or where the Vermilion comes from. It's like this you found out also from Ewo. So he's like, oh, so you're researching us too, huh? Yes, we unfortunately do not know yet how they get in there, whether it be disguises or magic of some kind. We take precautions, but they seem to circumvent them. And it annoys us to no end. So if you find anything out about that, we would happily reward you for the information.
Oh, I'm sure it's on our list of things to do. One other thing, and she'll pull out the red crystal amulet that belonged to Aloysia, and then that sharp amber crystal that she had managed to kind of take a chunk off of from the Betrayer's Rise. She'll set those down on the desk in front of her, respectfully. She's not gonna push all of his papers out the way. She goes, would either of these be of any use of you for the consortium? The amulet was Aloysia's. I believe it was just her spellcasting focus, but if it has any particular engravings or meaning or design for the consortium, I'm just curious. And then as far as this freaking cat. Then as far as the Amber Crystal goes, this is part of whatever event happened in the Rise that became more of an altar versus the horror that is that place.
So you've set them down for him to be able to look at them?
Yep. If he goes to touch them, she's not going to stop him.
Okay. He takes the cue. He picks up the arcane crystal, the amulet that she had, He looks at it a moment and they do enjoy their theming, don't they? Remarking on the red crystal. This one is of no particular significance that I can tell. I suggest, if nothing else, you could keep this as a trophy. But this, he picks up the crystal from the Changebringer altar. This is interesting. I would not mind researching this, see if it has any interesting properties. Are you giving it or selling?
Oh, I'm sure you and I both can agree that money does make the world go round.
Yes, it does, unfortunately. Very well, then. You went to great lengths to acquire this and the tablets. I can give you 100 for the crystal. And I will give you 250 each for the tablets.
Dang.
Yeah, she's gonna take that offer. She goes, all right. So that's 600 gold. Holy crap.
He has to go retrieve it. It's not just, he doesn't have that much in his pocket. But
Oh, he doesn't? That's weird.
yeah.
Yeah, no, she would obviously wait. She would inquire if he had any more tea with honey.
I do, actually.
May I have some?
Yes, you may.
And she like is visibly excited at this tea and this honey. Like so excited.
I know money talks, but I am very surprised that not once does it seem to have interested her to be like, give us access to the chateau for a day.
She has other plans for that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take that. Perfect. But yeah, she would either wait or if he said, yeah, I'll send it to you or whatever, she would obviously at that point. I'll leave that be. And then of course she'll let him know if I, if we find anything else about your security issue, I'll of course let you know. In the meantime, how would one gain access to the mall? Is it by petition? Appointment?
You would have to be a member of the Allegiance and present your badge. That is our proof of membership.
And what would membership entail?
Well, you could enroll at the school, but that is not a requirement. Let's see. Let me actually double check and see literally what it entails so that I can accurately answer your question. Well, we would find some sort of duties for you to perform to test your ability, test your what you can contribute to the Allegiance, and if it is found satisfactory, then we would consider membership at that point. I am the other headmaster.
I'm sorry, what was that last part? You, on the other hand, what?
Oh, he and the other headmaster.
Oh. Well, there's another headmaster?
Yes, there are two of us.
Oh. I apologize. I thought it was just you.
No, I would have to. Let me look up his name for you. Let's see. Nope, 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 nope. Where is it? Yes. Headmaster Cryon. Cryon.
Trial. Okay. I imagine we haven't seen him, but.
You have not.
And what would this test be? How long would it take?
We would have to, if you express interest, we would then determine something that needs doing that would be appropriate for hopeful applicants. No, it's not crayon.
He was trying so hard not to laugh, and then you said it.
Now. Now.
Great. Now I can't unhear it. Come on. Damn it. I'm not looking at the chat. Anyway. He said something would have to be arranged if I expressed. Oh, yeah, I asked how long it would take. I'm sorry.
Oh,
it depends
long...
on the task. That's what it was. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a task that needs doing?
At the moment, nothing comes to mind, but I can look into it, see if anybody has a job that needs done that would be appropriate.
Right. Well, I will think on that. In the meantime, is there any other way to gain access to your libraries? Other than your public one, of course.
Well, as I said, you could enroll as a student, but I don't know if that is necessarily of interest to you.
No. I've studied enough recently. Well, either way, I appreciate your time and the tea. I'm sure we'll keep in touch.
The tea.
She likes the tea.
You're
Well,
very
he also
welcome
spilled
for
the tea.
Well, I will hope to hear from you again. All right, and I will. I assume you met our guard at the front. I will tell Jor to send for someone if you return.
That'd be very kind. He is very diligent.
Yes, he is. He
And then
sniffs a little bit.
She would kind of chuckle to herself and then kind of give a polite nod and then leave.
Good day to you, miss.
And to you.
Okay. You leave his office. Prolix was waiting patiently outside, so he could escort you back to the front and not have you harassed by Jor. Oh, and the headmaster sees Prolix waiting when you open the door, and he calls out to Prolix to pass on that message to Jor to send for somebody if you return. Yes, he escorts you back up to the front. Just kind of asks curiously if there's anything you can tell him about your visit, or if that's secret matters.
What would you like to know, Prolix?
Oh, I was just curious what your business with the headmaster was, since I vouched for you at the front.
Ah, yes. Well, I see no reason why that wouldn't be fair. I was conducting business in exchange of monetary gain.
Ah, capitalism. Very good, very good. All right.
I just love it. He goes, capitalism. And he says it like he solved a puzzle. I love it.
But it answered his question.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how is the rest of your group getting on here in Ankarel?
Well, the city is quite agreeable. It's far better than Bazazan, I'll tell you that. But apart from that, we're settling in. The time difference has, I think, finally reset us.
Yes, that is definitely a thing.
Yeah. It's been a challenge.
Oh.
But we're making do. We're now staying at the Harried Mongoose. If you ever need to send for anything.
Ah, very good. That's in the River District, if I recall. Yes.
Yes.
All right then. I will keep that in mind. And you, around this time, you weren't very deep into the building, so you've made it back to the entrance, and Jor's attention is split between keeping an eye on the outside, but also making sure that you're coming back out in a decent amount of time. And he, as soon as he sees you, his eyes don't leave.
She'll walk past him, but again she'll turn over her shoulder and blow him a kiss over her shoulder to just tease him, just like, and then just.
And Prolix passes on the message that he's supposed to send for somebody if you come back. He looks just a little bit miffed about that.
He's just like, this stupid bitch. It's like, I'm not letting her in here.
It's like, I am here to do my job.
And he did it. He did it very well. And sadly, Ix gave attitude back for this man doing his job.
This is my current favorite NPC.
It's Jor. I love
Just
it.
the sulking halfling. I just keep imagining.
You said, yeah, just he's like so done. It's like, all right, I like that.
And I know he's super professional, and I don't know what he actually, but I imagine one thing of hair that just keeps falling in front of his face. So every time he goes, it goes.
He has a whole life now. He is. This is it.
But I just his description is very brief. There is no physical description other than he is a halfling. But they give him one sentence. It just says, "Suspicious and condescending. Jor sternly prohibits non-members from entering the chateau." I'm like,
Serious business to him. It's life or death. He doesn't. He's like, 0 to 100 real quick. You take a step back.
I love it.
He means it. He's passionate about his job. 100%. You know he does a good job. Ain't nobody getting in there.
He's committed.
How long has he been doing this? I need to know.
We're just gonna find an excuse to take him out to like dinner after his shift one day.
Have a really good time.
Reconnaissance, just to ask him about his life.
And he would have such a struggle if we showed up while he's working, because he's like, I can't let you in. I can't let you in.
I have to let you in. I hate
the crisis of conscience.
You have to let people in, Jor.
What is this mini quest that just happened?
I cannot.
I've heard too many times. I can't do it again. Yes, you can.
Very good, very good. So we have, at present, we have Ben at the temple in the archives meditating with Archivist Senka. We have Ix wrapping up business at the Crystal Chateau. The other three are going about their business at the lap of, or not the lap of the gods, at the Harried Mongoose, or whatever they are up to. We will find out what happens next in 2 weeks when we resume for session 28.